Guys, this is not what, guys, I want to be very clear. This is not what today's stream is going to look like with LS and niece. I just want to be very clear. I want to be very, very clear. I will not be, there's going to be no instigating. It's going to be a clean, fair conversation. No rage baiting. No taking the piss. Just an honest, heartfelt conversation. Getting to the bottom of things that are important, bro. 45 minutes till call with niece. Moderated by Nickich on various topics. Mostly doing this for everyone who asked for it. So we'll see how it goes. Leandri Mask waiting room. Oh, guys, it looks like they're ready, bro. Nice has confirmed he is ready. Nice has confirmed he is here and ready. Oh, let's get ready to discuss some stuff, shall we?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, Nice,
Can you
what
hear
up,
me?
man? Yep, I hear you're good.
Is the audio okay? I'm kind of like I'm in like a poverty setup.
No, you're good, bro. You sound solid. Hello, Nick. Hello, Les. What up, man?
Oh, wait. It's working?
Thank you for joining me today, gentlemen. You guys let me know when you guys are both settled in and you guys are all good.
Oh yeah, I'm good. I've got like 30, 40 minutes and then I have to run.
Okay. That's perfect.
But yeah, I'll try not to waste too much of you guys' time.
Where do we want to start?
Okay, let me paint a picture here for you guys, like just so I could. So we're here together today because this started off with obviously you guys have had more things in your history, but in recent times what brought it up was unless you made the tweet to replying to Erica Knight on Twitter, where you mentioned the Nice 350 meme. Nice caught it, talked about how he platformed more $15 coaches, talked about what Max Waldo's experience as a coach. He also saw your 1v20 video and these things. And basically, Nice has left it at, he wants to discuss with you about the coaching quality, whatever that means in your definition. Okay, because in Nice's side, he has a countless history of him making himself look dumb by getting coaches to coach him and has tons of content of that, okay? So let's put it in LS's ballpark here. LS, when you refer to Nice's...
Well, I mean, I guess initially, I want to know what exactly the claims are because we can start from like a lot of things. We can start from any of the 2023 tweets or the 2022 tweets that were targeted at me and Max. We can talk about vocabulary, what it actually means, right? Like echo chamber gets thrown around a lot. I don't know. There was other like weird things. So I think like establishing what it is exactly that we're talking about is probably the most important. 1 second. I forgot something in the other house. I'll be right back. One second.
No problem. Door needs to be like 1 minute. It's like right across the hall, so don't worry.
So how are you, Nick? Life good? Everything good?
Everything's good, man. Everything's good. I'm excited. I'm happy to be able to talk to both of you. I'm very excited about this. This is a very unique conversation we get to go through together here.
Yeah, I mean, I usually don't engage with anything right now. Honestly, I don't.
Understandable.
Really
Understandable.
I don't really have a need. I'm just kind of doing consulting. I live in Dubai now.
I mean, I told LS the same thing. I was like, I think this is a great opportunity for you guys to both talk about this because it's not like either of you are in a situation where it's like you're if you don't like somebody that much, you're not giving them anything. You know what I mean? Like you don't gain anything from this. He doesn't gain anything from this. It's just it's an honest conversation. Yeah, that's why I think it's a great time.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay. Well, so where do we start?
So I will lead with, okay, before I say things that might, because I assume I'm on a stream. I don't know how many people you're streaming to.
It's the handful.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yep.
I'm not
I
really.
think Nickich is streaming too. Yeah.
I'm streaming. Yeah, sorry.
That's fine.
Yep.
Before I say anything that is abrasive or rude or taken that way, and I'm going to say things that are going to be taken that way, I want to be very clear to everybody here that Nick, like, my criticisms of what I'm talking about today, like, Nick has helped me out in the past. This isn't just like a full-on, like, I've always been the type of person where I give credit where credit is due to things.
Take a break.
And I try, I'm certainly not perfect. I don't think anybody is. I try to give people their props. Like, I don't know if Nick told you guys this, but like when I was real beginning, I don't know if you even remember this, Nick, but I came to Korea and Nick helped me. Like he didn't have to do that.
I can't do anything.
And I was like, I was playing Gangplank back then or something. And I skimmed his recent, wiki deep dive, and I saw that you mentioned
mods. Turn off the sounds. Turn them off now. Mods, turn them off. Mods, turn them off.
Playing even now. I made Challenger last year in this goofy server in the Middle East, which I know isn't really a real server, but it was fun. So I stay playing the game, and the reason I'm saying all this to you guys is because I don't think Nick is all bad, and it's going to come out that way in this conversation. I want to be very, very clear up front, out the gate, that I don't view Nick this way. The quality of coaching stuff. You've been doing these little. I like to think of it as rap video, like sneak disses, and sometimes just straight up disses. I don't know if you know, but generally speaking, even when I was super, super popular, I never once did I come at you and say, hey, you know what? This coaching's a joke. You're shit. I could go off at, Nick does a bunch of word salad, and this stuff isn't actually applicable to what 99% of players in League have to even worry about. But I don't do that because I do think that you have some value. I think that players, once they cross a certain threshold, let's say master tier, I think that you're relevant. I think that the coaching, I think that the stuff that you have to say is relevant. I also don't think that you're bad at the game. I think you're legitimately good at the game. Go ahead.
I do remember the career trip. I'm actually showing on screen right now. I'll show a screen on Discord as well,
yeah, if you don't mind.
so you can see it. It's actually some of our first few interactions is you calling me a 13-year-old cheater, and then attacking like other stuff about me, and then also forcing me to log on one of my Korean accounts, which you then retracted.
That's amazing because I don't remember any of this, to be honest.
That's totally fine. I mean, I have everything, and also I do remember the Korea trip because I actually brought it up at multiple points, including in 2023. I specifically brought up the Korea trip, and I could pull that on screens too.
Can't see anything.
Yeah, you're not showing anything.
You can't see. All right.
What were the dates of his DMs, by the way? Do you have it?
These DMs where I acknowledged the Korea trip is 2023. And then these tweets, which you didn't delete because you only deleted 2023 from your Twitter timeline. These tweets.
That's like an old. That's like a different Twitter. That's like a different Twitter altogether.
No, it's your main. It's your main Twitter.
It's not. It's not.
It
really
have
not.
it on screen.
It's nice tweets. Yeah, it's nice tweets. Yeah, that's nice. I'm just
because
saying
you changed it, but the
profile. No, it's a different. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't think
so
that the name
other thing
changed.
about this is I still have my old Galaxy. I still have my old Galaxy phone. It's in the other room. It's in the closet. I actually have the live stream that I did where
this
I
is cool.
You get out of the
this
hotel.
is 10 years ago though, Nick. So this is kind of goofy.
Well, I'm bringing it up as relevance because you're saying that I might not remember it, but I do. I vividly remember it.
Because you did mention the Korea conversation. Like you have to mention you were talking about the Korea together, and he's bringing up something from around that time, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
yes. I'm saying that's actually where our disconnect started. Because of what happened on that trip. So I'm bringing it up as you also said that you never came at me or said anything about my coaching or anything about me, even though you did. And that's why you ended up making me log on my Korean account because I was Masters Korea at the time, which in that time period was like top 400, top 500 on the server population wise. And then you made me log on to it on stream. And then in addition to that, you ended up tweeting, which I'm showing the tweets on stream. So I'm bringing these up right now because they directly refute what you just said.
Do you think that when I can't wait? Do you think that when I left from Korea, because it seems like you're trying to do a gotcha thing instead of a talking thing? Do you think that when I got home from Korea and you helped me out, do you think that you changed my views? Do you think that I went home and was like, man, Nick was an asshole. He helped to give me a room. Like, do you understand that at the time that before we talked, I remember we had it out. Before I even went to Korea, we argued or bitched at each other or something. And when I went to Korea, if I'm not mistaken, everything was cool. You helped me get a room. You didn't have to do that. You helped me, set up a fucking shitty climb that I did not do a particularly good job at. And honestly, didn't have to do it. But do you think that I came home and I was like, wow, Nick sucks?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
If anything, to me, okay. Because to me, at this point, no issue. I'm like, wow, Nick's an amazing dude. This wasn't. I went home and was like, aha, that fuckhead. He helped me, and I fucking hate him. Like, it sounds ridiculous. You know that, right?
No, I
don't have any. I don't have any interest. I don't have any interest in just shitting on people for the fun of it.
Right. I'm just bringing it up because you said that you hadn't done those things, but you did prior to me helping you out. And yes, I do remember helping you out because I was in the middle of coaching. I canceled coaching, so I actually lost a couple hundred that day. and I know that I even talked about that on stream, to go to your hotel to help you out because you were having internet troubles, and I live streamed it. And so I still have that stream recording on my old phone.
We did do that. Yeah, you helped me with
So
like a
I live streamed it. I helped you go to the Goshi one. I translated for you. Then you were missing certain tech equipment, so I walked with you to Technomart in Shindarim, South Korea.
Yep.
I helped you get the stuff, and then we ended up going to a Korean barbecue.
Right.
And I have all of that. Yes. So at no expense of my own, I didn't get anything from that. But that's what I just do for everyone. That's what I've done for a lot of people.
Vouch.
Right, and honestly, that's pretty much what you've. I mean, really, I'm not going to sit here and argue that. You've always, if people come to Korea, you always help them. That is not at issue here. In fact, all things considered, that's why I continuously try to bridge the gap, because by all accounts, you're not just like a terrible across the board human, but for whatever reason, when it comes to the coaching space and growing the scene, your angle you seem to have a really want to gatekeep. You really want to keep people out of the scene, and I'm not really sure why, and I'm not really sure what you think that does to benefit the scene.
I get bread, all these fucking bands.
Oh yeah.
Sorry for the
Can I ask for examples
Goat.
on that?
Sure. So, for example, just recently, the Griffin HQ guy, this guy has probably, to my knowledge, now you can tell me if I'm wrong. My knowledge, this guy is pretty much a brand new dude. He's a brand new Twitter dude. He's a brand new content creator. And could be wrong. My interaction, what I see from this guy, he posts a video explaining why he thinks full clearing may not always be the best choice. Right? Which we can debate. I mean, we could waste hours on that. My point is that you take time as a high level, and I'm gonna draw this back to how this pertains to me, but you take time you are seen as somebody who knows what the fuck they're talking about. Whether or not I disagree, whether or not anybody in the space disagrees with this, this is a fact. You have done a very, very good job of creating a community that buys into what you have to say. Right? And it's not my space to tell you that you're right or wrong or anything. But what I do take issue with is when you look at somebody like this who's posting essentially of who the fuck is this even targeting? He's explaining his opinion on why he thinks full clearing isn't always right. And you just shit on him. And in some ways, you shit on him in ways that to me it doesn't even fucking matter. You went on a rant about timing from when people leave the base when they come back out onto the map. When there's now home guards, every champion has gap closes. You made it seem as if the average player, even in Grandmaster, players aren't timing from the point that someone leaves the fountain to the point where someone leaves the jungle. I would be willing to bet that most players just play off a feel. Just feel it. I leave the base, they feel it. I don't know if you completely agree with that, but you see where I'm going with this. My thing is, I don't know why you feel the need try to tear people down when you already are seen as somebody who knows things, dude. You don't have to tear anybody down. You don't have to do that. You can add to it. What does this do for anybody? You make it seem like you didn't have bad takes. We've all had bad takes, dude. You, me, everybody that's been in the scene for this long. We've had terrible takes. You used to say support Nasus was good. I mean, that's ridiculous now.
Why is it ridiculous?
Okay, well, if you're still defending the support Nasus, we can debate that.
Guys, we can save that later. I think the Nasus we can have a conversation. That's a different time.
I think we can all. But you see what I'm trying to say? We've all had bad takes.
Yes, I'm trying to. So you've deleted some tweets actually, but it's okay. I have them.
I've deleted a lot of things because it's just
I know.
Not a very good. It's not a very good thing to have tweets into the ether, especially shit that you may not wanted to have said. You know how it is.
Well, that's okay. I mean, well, I don't typically delete things. I'm the librarian, which is why I still have my old phones from over 10 years ago.
That's cool. That's cool because honestly, like what you said about the Korean barbecue thing, I didn't even remember until you said it. You see where I'm going with this? I don't understand the need to.
I do.
Let me just plug in really quickly. LS, 1 second. So basically, what Nice is doing here is he's basically just the thing he's criticizing you on is how you are constructive in terms of how you engage with someone who's putting themselves out in a coaching manner. Basically, how you handle other coaches in the space. Nice, is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I think so.
So the odd thing is, so you made this tweet a few days ago, said that you said that the first coach that I ever officially tried to platform was Max Waldo, but that wasn't true.
Okay.
I platformed other people prior to Max. I met Max in 2018, but I was platforming coaches from 2015 forward.
Okay, did you have a website?
I mean,
Did you have something? Do you have some sort of like
I had
a YouTube
had
channel that they're
Discord and I
on?
had Skype and then my Twitch. Right, there was Snow
Okay.
who lived in Korea actually up until a couple of years ago. That was an ADC coach. My Discord goes back, you know, nearly a decade, and it has like chat logs and stuff and old coaches and whatever. And then me and Max also did the thing, which is actually how we found Alois and Vigra V2 before they were even popular. And I put Alois on for several years since 2018 because we did a thing where I opened up for endorsed coaches, and we had hundreds of different coaches reply. And what ended up happening is me and Max went through them all, and we listened to VODs that they submitted and other things that they did. That's how we found Alois, way before he was popular. When he was a 50-viewer Andy with no following on any platform. And Alois, I have the tweet up on screen, acknowledges this just last year because people claimed that I never tried to actively seek out coaches or put people on, but that's just not true. I've done it for countless people. So the idea, because you see instances of me going at someone like Griffin, the Twitter Griffin, or yourself or some other people, those are, I mean, it's just what it is. It's what I do. It's not that I don't do the thing that you're claiming that I do, right? Like in the screenshot, you say that I don't try to help better the space, or I don't try to help people or whatever. And I just think I'm one of the craziest people you could ever say that to, because I've housed over 200 boot campers over the last decade. I've helped people make bridges to Korea. I've taken them to hospitals. I've translated for them. I've lent them PCs.
You are very, very good at helping people when they come to your home turf and helping them with we'll say the daily existence of Korea.
Sure.
And I'm not disputing that.
Sure.
What I'm saying
Okay.
is irrespective of that, right? Like for me, the issue that I take with this whole thing is that the amount of effort that you've shown, that you've put out here, is minimal to the amount of time that you have spent trying to hurt content creators. I feel like you know that, and you even said like, oh, that's just what I do. But my question is, why do you feel the need, as Nick, as you sit right now, why do you feel the need to do that, and how does that help anybody? Most of the people that you're going to be, that your fucking nipples are going to get hard about, are going to be people that are very, very, very ultra elite at the game. I get that, dude. I get that. I understand that that's where your focus is. But you have to see that most of the people in this game we're obviously losing players. Obviously, esports is not doing well. The thing that's going to hurt this game is if we can't onboard new people. And when you are taking you're making a deliberate effort to hurt people that are trying to get their foot in the door. To me, it seems like you don't really see the big picture, which is strange because you are helpful, like you just said. But the Koreans, you can be nice. It's not like you're just always bad. I don't get why you have to attack people. What's the benefit?
Can you name me? So if I'm able to cite examples of me helping dozens of different people become content creators, and I was the one pushing for I was the #1 co-streamer for 4 years, and I made it a point to try to bring on so many different guests to help them grow their brands. And obviously nickich is a witness to this because it's one of
right.
Nickich
But what if you don't like those people? Don't you see that? What if you don't like them? What do you do?
Well, how do you determine that I don't like them?
Right
Can
here,
you name me people who I don't like? Because if the number that you list,
you went on this
exactly.
You went on this 1v20 video. Herder or niece so bad at League of Legends. Really? I'm that bad?
No, that wasn't me.
Oh, that was.
So I have that timestamp.
Go ahead and watch it. Niece is bad. He, and you've got a bunch of Redditors giggling. Well, I don't know if they're Redditors, honestly.
So it's at 17:18 in the YouTube video. I can play it for you.
I watched the clip.
Yes, the other person brings you up, not me.
And then you go, haha, niece bad. It's your words.
No, that I defended your right because I understand supply and demand.
Go ahead.
Let's just play it.
The vast majority of players will never
it's the fat guy. Remember that he's fat because I was thinking the whole time, holy shit, if I could just help this guy with his fitness too, it would be amazing. It's not fat. Skip ahead. Not fat. Skip ahead. Well, not that fat guy. That fat guy was cool. That fat guy was cool. Sometimes there's cool fat guys. Sometimes there's cool. He's not. That's not the fat guy. That's not the fat guy.
Okay, I mean, I had the timestamp, but then
It's okay. I can tell you.
It's
Just keep
okay. I
going
can
forward.
tell you.
Just keep going forward. I'm watching your screen. I'm watching your
Okay.
screen. This guy.
So
This guy randomly
guy
just brings me
randomly
up,
just
and I'm like,
brings me
okay,
up.
that's
And
weird.
I'm like, okay, that's
Then
weird.
you decide to
Then
pile
you
on
decide to
because
pile
I
on.
guess it's just like a
Because I
free
guess it's
giggle.
just
Hee
like
hee.
Okay, hold on. I'll play it. I'll
Go
play it.
ahead. Be right back. I'm gonna get water.
Master and that practice
for
lower players. For pretty much majority of players. When you play ranked, play enough rankings. Once you kind of get settled into what your rank is.
It's gonna be done in a sec. Let's just forget it, bro.
You can pause. You can pause.
Yeah, pause.
So
Sure.
this type of stuff. I don't understand why this is a necessary angle, and this is where we
So-
get into the quality discussion. Is I don't get. I'm obviously out of the scene for what 3 years maybe. I haven't really posted anything. And by all accounts, I've given a lot of space for a lot of critics to make videos, to make YouTube channels, to do whatever the fuck they want to do with the coaching space. Right?
Yep.
And truly, you to Tarzan to whoever the fuck that I said anything negative to, I think it's a pretty reasonably fair statement that while I was doing my coaching stuff and making my content long past the time that we hung out in Korea, which is where I personally feel I don't know where this vitriol came, where you decided that niece enemy, niece bad. I've also tried to reach out to you and to collaborate something like a boot camp or something. When I was doing those, I was getting so much business from these fucking boot camps, and it was just me coaching, and I really wanted to give other people money. No bullshit, no scheme, no like, oh, niece is getting money. No, dude. Like, I'm talking like I tried to get Xpetu to do a boot camp because I was like, well, you know Xpetu, right? He did the thing with the Shen Jungle recently.
I'm doing a video with him next week. Yep.
But he's an amazing coach. I will sit right here and I will defend up and down, left and right, that guy is a better coach than me. He has a great voice. He has a really good understanding of the game. He knows how to simplify things to an idiot, which is something that I feel that's a huge thing, that I think that's something that you struggle with. That's something that I think Max struggles with, is that he knows how to get it down to somebody who's actually Nick, how often do you go to the gym? This isn't to flame you. Okay? I just want you to play this game for a second. How often do you go to the gym?
These days I just started back up again.
Right. So when you do, and again, just play the game and be honest. When you do a bench press, we'll just say, or a squat, do you feel 100% confident in the form?
Do I feel 100% confident?
Yeah, like do you feel
well,
like a
so
squat,
I-
like a proper squat? Do you feel like, oh, I really know what the fuck I'm doing here? Because I'm going to tell you, spoiler alert, I was in the military, which you know. I'm not even really that confident in shit. And I trained my whole life, dude. And there's still fuck I'm doing. I'm not a personal trainer, not a fitness instructor. So for me, my angle with coaching has always been to simplify things down for people that don't care that much. Dude, you care so fucking much about the game, and it's so obvious that you care so much. Just like it's so obvious that I care. But our strengths are different. It's not to say that I think that I'm better than you, right? I think I'm better than you at maybe helping newbies, but do I think I'm a better coach than you? Do I think that you have like values that I don't have? Abso-fucking-lutely, dude. So why on earth, when you've seen years go by and you've seen people not feel my shoes and you've seen tons of videos not get made, you saw Coach Nalu, I don't know if you know that fucking guy, copies my videos, sits and flames them all day. He doesn't have a job anymore. The Fiction Gap guy doesn't have a job anymore. Cookie Law's a fucking pedophile. He doesn't make any content. He actually made good content. Well, he's a fucking pedophile. He's gone. Tarzan, he had all the time to make coaching. He's gone now. He's permanently banned now. You flame my coaching. All these guys flame my coaching. So much space, so much coaching is lost. Why do this? Why attack me? I'm long gone. What's the point, man?
Well, I mean, I'm not. I mean, I think if you perceive something as an attack, it doesn't explicitly mean that it is.
I think saying something like, haha, Max is actually good at the game and articulate versus niece is a very, very funny thing since, no offense to Max, he doesn't have a strong presence on a coaching. Max's knowledge is undoubtedly good. He is a terrible coach for newbies. Terrible. He has no confidence whatsoever.
How do we determine that? How do we determine that Max Gold is a bad coach?
That's exactly why we have to have this discussion. Because when you say some shit like this, you don't have to say this. These are opinions.
Oh,
right?
I'm
These are
asking.
opinions.
I'm asking. Well, right. The same way that you're saying that you can say with confidence that these other people are better coaches than yourself, I'm
Right.
asking, how do you reach the conclusion that Max or anyone is a bad coach? What are the metrics, or what are the metrics or methods of evaluation, etc., that you would deploy to reach that conclusion?
Sure. And this might be where we vary. The difference is when we both get to our conclusions, and I'll get to the point of what you're saying. Whatever our conclusions are, that doesn't mean that we have to go and chase down other coaches and piss on their fucking reputation. Again, I've already established you have a good reputation. You've, like you said, as a librarian, you've kept a pretty good record of the good things you've done. Props to you. Fuck, I wish I did that stuff. That's a good habit, right? When you get to the conclusion of what makes you a good coach, that doesn't mean that you have to attack other people. Max, in my opinion, right, the things that a good coach needs to have is he needs to be able to simplify concepts down quickly, efficiently, and cleanly for people that aren't very good at the game. For people that don't know how to do the squat technique. Because that's where they're going to get stuck more.
Right.
They're going to get stuck on the simpler things more, unless you're specifically aiming for people that are, masters plus, right? You don't really need to go that deep.
So I mean, my immediate question would be, so do you not care about the accuracy of how well the squat is being described? Do you not care if the person would hurt themselves?
I do. That's why for me, I focus
Okay.
specifically on the concepts, the fundamentals. This is the same thing you said that
Okay.
you helped Eloise get started. I've hyped him up. I love
Right.
that he goes on and on. Fundamentals, great.
Yes.
Fucking agree. Hard agree.
Completely agree.
So again, it all goes back
that's
to
where-
my point is why in your brain, in your LS, in your Nick brain, you now have the fucking approval. Riot has given you a damn. I'm pretty sure they shouted out an item after you, right? You've got a ton of fans that love and support anything you say, no matter how ridiculous. Who shit on anybody, no matter how harmless their content actually is. Right? Guy telling junglers to not full clear sometimes is not that dangerous. I mean, yes, obviously, I agree with you. Generally, we should full clear. But to say, hey, maybe in a vacuum sometimes you shouldn't default in autopilot, it's not a bad thought. Why do you think it's necessary for you to attack that, to destroy that, to make somebody not feel that they need to produce anything?
So-
how do you think that grows the space?
Well, it grows the space because so the language that I would want to use here is an invasive species.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, it's the language that I would use. So an invasive species, like, do you know what that is? I'm just asking, like,
Yes, of course
the
I
exact
know. Yeah.
terminology. Okay. All right. So for people listening, invasive species are non-native plants, animals, or microorganisms that cause ecological, economic, or human health harm in new environments, or sometimes to obviously animals, plants, whatever, right? So that's the answer to that, right? If you were at the gym, yourself, if you're at the gym and you realize that there is a personal trainer, right? Someone with a title, right? But not necessarily any verified credentials or anything beyond just the title.
His credentials,
and
he's
you
made
saw
like
them-
masters, right?
No. What I'm asking is if you saw a personal trainer instructing someone of an exercise that could harm them in a way rather than actually be helpful, and they were getting paid to do it, would you not say something to the person getting personally instructed?
Yeah, but I don't really agree that not full clearing every time is a harmful thought to have. This isn't
But
black
we
and white.
can
though.
agree that instructing people incorrectly is harmful.
Absolutely, but he did not do that. Did not
No,
do
but
that. He
you're
just
asking
posted
me
a-
why I take gripe with certain things. So that's why I said, like, how would you evaluate Max Waldo, right? And it's the accuracy of what is being said. So earlier, when you mentioned that I hadn't put on other coaches, that I didn't seek out other people, that's just untrue. Because way before, 6 years before Alois even blew up, I was recommending people to Alois when I think he was charging like $10 or $15 a coaching session. He was completely unknown. He was a Riven OTP. But the guy was so articulate and aware of the fundamentals up to a pro level. And so when he had sent in his application along with many others, me and Max saw all those applications. Because unlike Metafy or Skillcapped or LOL guides or whatever, me and Max went through and vetted all of the VODs to try to determine who is actually accurate and what they're saying. And the way that you measure accuracy is by what is demonstrable. you can demonstrate or recreate what's being said to verify the validity of the claim. So when you're asking me why I take gripe with occasionally people, right? And you're saying yourself or this Griffin person on Twitter, etc. It's because if people buy into things that are highly inaccurate or consistently inaccurate, then it's an invasive species. And as a means to clear the space,
so do you have some sort of evidence of Griffin being painfully inaccurate to the point of where he's going to harm a gold player? I mean, that's kind of a funny thought to have, where he's going to harm somebody because the average Twitter user is what, fucking gold, maybe? What is he saying that's going to
what if the jungler takes his video and thinks that Dragon in that play is good? Even though you can demonstrate in practice tool, which now goes up to 10 players as well, you can demonstrate, not even mathematically, because Griffin actually had a pretty emotional response to that, and he went on stream and he didn't know some of the things that I brought up. He didn't understand, he didn't know about jungle EXP. He didn't know a fundamental, right? That's the word
he
that
knew
you
the
used.
jungle XP.
He didn't know a fundamental.
He did know the jungle XP. But the post level, it's like the post level 9, I think it is.
They cap level, well, right, but that's the importance in getting the camps up faster. So if you actually
I'm with you on this, and honestly, he responded to that, and his response was decent. Look, I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of the fucking vacuum
but you
play
just
of
asked
the Dragon.
How do I know that he's inaccurate? And so I went through the video. It's not like I didn't do due diligence. I went through it step by step with things that I would be able to demonstrate. And in your response to Griffin telling him not to listen to me, you call me an esports jester and a Twitter analyst. But, niece, I was hired by T1 and approved by Faker. Faker asked for me on T1. The greatest player that our game has ever had.
You haven't coached anybody, Nick. You haven't coached a pro team.
What do you mean? I didn't coach. I coached T1 behind the scenes.
Don't do this. You don't have any evidence of you having any results, bro. Don't do this.
I just showed my T1 contract on stream.
You can do that, but you weren't a coach, dude.
It's the coach contract with the official seals of the Korean government.
Let's be honest. If Les was lying about this right now, I'm pretty sure there's like things about lying in Korea that people can get you in trouble for. I think it's very fair to say like his credentials in terms of coaching.
This seal on
You're
this
a content
piece of paper.
creator. You are hired to promote your audience to the scene, which is fine, dude.
This is feeling a bit rage baity. I can't lie. This bit feels a little bit rage baity.
I mean, it can feel rage baity, but it's the truth.
I'm asking, like, what are you talking about? I have coached teams, though.
You have coached teams. There's no question. But the teams that you've coached recently, I'll tell you, as a person, I obviously don't hate you. I sat and watched you go to Cloud9. I sat and watched you go to Cloud9, excited to see you coach a full season. Excited. Here he is. He gets to finally do this. And then you don't do it.
Hold on one, just to get the timestamp. Okay. Well, I did coach C9
and you don't
for 3
do
months.
it. You didn't show up for work, and they fired you because of
Not
that.
true. Nope, they did not fire me because of that. So I just took the screenshot because I know what you're gonna say. But anyways, go ahead.
I don't want to say it because I don't want to hurt your reputation. I don't care.
You don't need to. I'm waiting on the NDA. The NDA ends in about a year.
Okay. Then
why is this story never come out from any esports journalist?
Oh,
why is
probably scared of your fans? I don't know, honestly. Probably scared of your fans, dude. It's not. You know your position. This isn't like a secret to you. You know that you have a lot of fans, dude. You got like hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitter. And honestly, esports fans are fucking ride or die. I'll give you that. There's no need to play this. There's no need to appeal to this coaching thing. I don't care about the pro scene, bro. I don't give a fuck. Yes, I did bring it up because that's what you appeal to. You appeal to the pro scene as some sort of like metric to apply to the fucking noobs in Noobland. They don't do that scene. It has nothing to do with the game for 99% of the people, and you know that.
Okay, wait a second, guys. Wait 1 sec. LS, wait one sec, because this is getting a little bit. I could feel that you guys are a little bit more tense here. So look, niece is mentioning I think Nice's main point with mentioning your coaching is that he's trying to say like this is what you're supposed to be good at.
About this.
You don't want to talk about the coaching and pro.
No,
like
I don't
you're just
want to
mentioning.
shit on his coaching.
You're trying to say
that's not my thing.
His coaching thing is related more to the high level and pro play and that kind of stuff. And you're saying Nice, your coaching is related to the low elos and LS is butting into low elos.
Coaching video was like, I'm gonna teach a pro how to fucking play. Dude, that's not my fucking lane. But don't lord over this fucking T1 thing like you got hired as some fucking. Like you got hired as some sort of superstar coach that Faker's like on, or it's like he's on your jock or something. This shit's ridiculous and it's old.
I had a 4-hour. I had a multi-hour long process in order to join T1, in which I had to go over VODs and drafts with Faker.
So why the fuck aren't you with them now? You're so amazing,
I
Nick.
chose to
If you're
become a
the man.
streamer after the Korean fans revolted.
How do you do this?
Nice, I feel like you have like a conspiracy or a thought about this, and that's fair if you want to have that. I don't think this is something worth going on because this is a you
It's
versus
not,
this
it's
is
not,
a
and I don't
suspect
want
versus-
Journal-
that's
you
what it
just
feels.
said journalists won't release the story because they're afraid of fans, but then in the same vein, I'm not allowed to choose to be a content creator instead of continue to coach T1 when I'm afraid of the fans, the Korean fans.
Then why would you take the job at Cloud9, Nick?
What do you mean?
Why would you even bother? Why would you even bother? You want to be a content creator. What's the point?
It's completely two
No,
different
no, no.
times.
I'm saying
It's very different.
I was bothered by the Korean fans. What does that have to do with Cloud9?
Okay, I'm saying you wanted to prove that you're the best coach ever, right? And you've got Faker on your jock and you're the man. Why did you go to Cloud9 and have this fucking lazy stint where you weren't showing up to practices and shit? Why do that to your
not what
fans? Why
happened.
did
That's not what happened.
That's why I'm saying this is a pointless discussion because you're just going to argue with it, and I don't want to fucking leak your shit all over the fucking place because it's not my
No,
my lane.
you could leak anything because it would mean that C9 tried to give you something. So you can leak whatever. I've held my stance really clearly. So I Will Dominate had a video that came out actually about me that was similar to Jojo Pion. Why did that video get taken down?
I don't know about this video. I don't care that much, dude.
Okay,
I'm here to
well,
talk
it's fine.
about
So it
fucking
existed.
low elo coaching. Yeah, sure. I don't know.
I understand that, but if you're going to make a claim, I would want it to be substantiated.
If you're gonna bring up that you were the biggest dickest coach in the fucking universe, then you shouldn't be doing this but you shouldn't be doing this with me because I don't care, dude. This is not my thing. This is your thing. And I'm never gonna take your thing. So
Right,
why do you always try to
you're-
take my thing? Don't you understand that? Why do you always try to attack my thing? Why do you always try to attack other people for doing a thing that you have no fucking interest in? Why you admitted you have no interest in, even in this stupid fucking video that you linked right here.
Yes.
This LS verse 20
you tried
Redditors.
you tried to also come for my Korean visa at one point, unbeknownst
What?
to you that I was still on T1. Okay,
What are
so
you talking about?
Watley reached out to me after you asked him to make a tweet about me.
Don't
So
know
I have
what
these
this is.
screenshots up on stream.
ahead.
Of course you know what it is, because Nice, it's you asking him to call in one of the screenshots, saying that it's off the record. Nice, look, if you're gonna come at me, you need to be real prepared.
I need to know what I need to read this because I don't
Give him
know
a
what
second,
this
yeah,
is.
let-
and
let
I
us-
have
let us
everything.
digest
I have
it.
everything hidden here. Watley says his fans B2 with burners. Recalls vividly. Talk nicely. It's weird. There's a boss. Weird shit. Autistic. What is this? Can you like frame this up so it's not like all segmented? Can you just like summarize what he's saying?
I got it. Well, Watley basically told. Well, I mean, Watley goes.
Can you bring that screenshot up because it's just like a bunch of weird screenshots and I want to know what the hell you're trying to claim exactly.
Yep, there we go.
Oh, there's a lot more at the top. What
Yeah.
the fuck? Korean visa. What is that? What you said? Is that what you just said?
What?
Did you say something about Korean visa? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, because you didn't know I was still on T1.
I'm trying to read this quickly because my time is short too. This coaching staff, their money is desperate. Blah blah blah. He's acting in public. This stuff puts me off. Da da da. His anger stems further back, runs deeper. Well, this is very dramatic. Probably looks as a weird vendetta between you. Drew is honestly not true. I don't have any problem with Drew Toot. I worked with him, and he said he'd rather sort it out with you. Anyways, I don't feel as wise. I thought. What does this have to do with a visa? I'm confused. He's just saying stuff.
So after I was removed from C9, February 21st, 2022, you asked him to call, and you go on a 14-minute tirade about me. And he thought that it was morbid. And he says that Nice's dislike of you long predates the whole coaching discourse from a few months ago, though I'm sure you knew that, and I acknowledge that I did. And then I said to him that he said he brought up a lot of things to me privately as well as other people that he worked with. And I said to Watley that the first time that we met that I got extremely off-put by our meeting. And that is where it began, where even though I would still remain cordial to you because that's within my principles and my character, because I have a redemption problem, and I bring that up in therapy all the time, that I want to believe that there's good in people. And so I want people to always have extra chances.
This is a very strange angle that you're taking. But I applaud I applaud this weird Watley screenshots.
I don't think they're weird at all. I think it
Let's
goes
go.
to show
Let's talk
scheming
more.
behind
Let's talk more about this. Scheming behind the scenes, Nick.
You are. You're
How?
actively discussing with your own coaching staff. What do you mean? I mean, I can pull up the burner accounts that you have. So you say that I attack people and that I try to bring down their, I attack content creators, etc. You have videos attacking Vigar V2 with thumbnails.
Why do I have that video?
Vigar
Why do I have
V2 's
that video? Wait, stop. Why do I have that video?
Why do you have what video? You have a
Why would
bunch
I-
of burners.
Why would I make a video? Why would I make a video making an attack on Vagar V2? For what reason would I ever do this? We've just established that I have no incentive to tear down the coaching space, and I have no incentive to involve
Then
myself
why do
with you
you
guys.
make burners to attack people that you don't like?
Why wouldn't I make burners? You guys were running my coaching content and flaming me for fucking 30, 45 minutes at a time. Non-stop. TikTok, you, Tarzan, Vagar V2, Cookie Law, fucking random people that I've never even heard of. Absolutely. How are you supposed to defend yourself, dude? How can you defend yourself against a literal C? I'm going to ask you, and I want you
The way I did it.
to be honest. I want you to be honest here for a second. When you look at the content creation space, has there been, I can only think of a handful, has there been people that have gotten a direct attack across all socials as hard as I did for getting my coaching prices up to $250? And you name them. Because I have a pretty good recollection of the situation where it was a non-stop TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Nick, I know that you're kind of in allegiance with Ellis here, but I would like for your opinion also on this.
No, because
You think
I
that I'm
could speak on this
absolutely
because
insane here?
I recently watched the drama that unfolded. I rewatched it. There was a video on it. It's like an hour-long video that talked about that whole situation. I got to rewatch it. I will say, I think it was unrivaled in terms of the kind of, sure, you were dealing with a lot of attacks on your character and what you were doing. I do also believe that, I watched the video, this is recent in my memory. I think this is something, it was a situation that was simply a talk at the time and was something that you could have very easily passed by. Like, hate comes in waves. Like, something like that was a situation that comes in waves. And
You just admitted, did you not, that you just admitted that it was a pretty unrivaled, your exact word.
in terms of I can't think of another streamer situation where they faced multiple content creators criticizing them in a similar
Content
capacity.
creators, listen.
Yes.
Cadril, the fucking GOAT right now. This guy is huge. The first time he put my coaching in front of his audience, he shit all over it. This guy is the esports analyst dude, right? The pro guy dude. He shit all over it. Then he apologizes to me privately in DMs. This type of shit builds up on a guy. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I didn't do this. I absolutely did. I was trying to do some sort of damage control on marketing. Absolutely. And, people are like flaming this screenshot thing. Absolutely. Put that screenshot out. My whole intent was to go in Korea and prove people wrong and do really, really well in Korea. And I didn't, honestly.
What?
I got up
Why
to
would
Masters
people
and then I
shit on your
sucked.
coaching
I don't
if
know.
he doesn't know you? Okay,
I don't
so
know.
is there a chance he's trying to evaluate the value that he's witnessing?
Listen, he can do that. That's totally cool. But the problem is, and I don't think you're realizing this, is that it is an opinion from you, from him, from people that have a what's the word that I'm looking for? They have a conflict of interest, right? Cadril was not huge back then. This is why I'm getting on you in particular, because I really do not understand the purpose from your angle to shit on me.
Can I quickly butt in? Wait, can I quickly butt in on this? Because
go ahead,
I think
you can.
for you, I think in this situation you have to remember all these people that are criticizing you and that were piling on you at that time are all content creators. So it's going to be for entertainment purposes. I think what you're looking for was you didn't enjoy the way that they approached talking about your content and the way they shit on it and that kind of thing. You didn't appreciate that because it was obviously very inflammatory. They're trying to get a reaction. At the end of the day,
some people, hold on, because I see where you're going with this, and I agree. Some people in there, I'd like to shout out Midbeast on this, because Midbeast plays this little game, this entertainer game, right? Midbeast is not a coach, but he absolutely shit on me. But I also knew in my heart, Midbeast, he's not really it hurts when I'm getting heckled. But he's not doing this because he's trying to score business points. The thing that bothered me is that I always tried to build everybody around me up. And Nick, it's funny that you bring this thing with Watley up. Dude, I'm sure if you look through DMs, I'm sure I offered to work with you in a boot camp. I told you that. I didn't have time to go through a bunch of DMs and stuff. I am busy. It's not a lie.
I don't know. I know that you've
sure,
DM'd me a lot. I never responded.
but yes, I did. And I tried very, very hard to reach out to you and say, hey, dude, there's an opportunity here for you to make some money. Right? And honestly, for me, I was more about building up the coaching scene. Yes, I would have made a little extra money too, but you would have made the brunt of it. You would have made more. In fact, I probably would have given you more money, which is great. If you wanted to do the work, you did not. What did you say?
Because the values that you hold aren't the ones that I hold.
Right, you don't need the money, and you're doing your thing. I got it.
The scene.
I get that you think that you're I get that you think that you're helping the scene when you do this, but I would argue that this is pretty clearly not.
Me with an item.
Riot can Riot. That's a funny thing to cite. Riot can award you with whatever they want to award you. They could award you with the biggest dick in league award. It doesn't matter to me because I see how you tear people down, and you see it. You see that you
guys, this is difference of morals and like standards. Like this is a difference of opinions right now. What you guys are discussing.
Right. No, I agree. But the whole point of me bringing all this up, listen, I want to circle back. I've made many mistakes as a content creator, as have you, right? And when I was taking a lot of flack, unrivaled flack, I made some stupid choices. I don't know if you remember, but I was also going through a divorce. And I don't know if you remember, but I was also running a boot camp and coaching while trying to prove the haters wrong. I wish I was a strong.
Dude, I'm watching the stream while you try to
35 or doing that stupid climb in, but I wasn't, right? So yeah, I really, when I made that screenshot back then, I really wanted to go to Korea, do really well, and be like, haha, got you, bitch. I don't really care if you think it's fake, right? And work that way. Shit happens. If that's a totally self-contained thing, this is not me going out of my way to tear somebody down or to hurt somebody or to be like, you're not a good coach and you're not a good coach and so is not a good coach. Right? These are things that you guys partook in. And again, I don't know why it was necessary. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know how you think that betters the scene, a scene that is dying, a scene that desperately needs some fucking onboarding.
Okay, so your idea of helping the scene is growing the coaching space regardless of accuracy in order to get
that's
money.
not what I'm saying, and you know that's not what I'm saying. If you're going to pretend, there's so many people...
That I would make a lot of money to me, which means that you hold that value, but I don't hold that value.
You do hold that value. Do you really want to go there?
No, I don't. I have had sub alerts off and donos off for the last 3 years.
You do hold that value.
I've also had Twitch chat off.
You do hold that value. We're content creators. We all hold that value. It's just a fact of life.
Nope,
now, to what degree, to what extent, then why are you doing this? I know the amount of goofy deals you took with shit like Mobalytics and all these fucking clowny ass fucking apps that suck. So I don't know why you're pretending this is okay. You're not gonna play gotcha. You have more money than me. I don't even know why the fuck this is even a topic. The end of the day.
But you're
the end of the day.
You're
my
saying
whole point of bringing
I should
this
have
up.
valued the money from coaching, but why?
Why would you value the money from coaching?
Why would I want to what I perceive to be predatory?
It's not, but it's not the same. But it's your coaching. It's your boot camp, and it's not predatory. And you would be helping the space. There's tons of low elo people. No, there's tons of low elo people that would have loved your opinion, dude. That's why I wanted to put you on. That's why I wanted to make a thing. I wanted to give you an opportunity.
Out of all the people when you were getting dunked on, I was the only one defending supply and demand because I understand it, right?
We're not defending it at all. You were up on a treadmill saying that I was weird. This type of shit.
You're weird because of these types of things that I'm showing on stream, these screenshots.
Yes.
I will come in and say he would say things about the supply and demand. I've seen multiple tweets of us saying the supply.
He has defended supply and demand, but it always comes with the caveat of nice sucks. Again, there's never a positive, and this is the type of stuff that I'm starting to see, that I have a trend here of you collecting as many things as you possibly can, so you can lord it over somebody years and years later and act as if the fucking criticisms that they're holding in the present day are completely invalid. As I said, I've been out of the scene for 3 years, so all this stuff is fucking dated as hell. You do get that, right?
I'm explaining to you, but I'm explaining that my issue. The reason all the content creators took issues with you in the scene, what was it? It wasn't the 350.
It was the 350.
Or maybe some of them were. It wasn't. It was all the other things.
I was already getting fucking blasted on TikTok by Tarzan and people I've never even heard of were getting massive TikTok videos. And then I had to start copy striking videos because it got to the point where people were just running my coaching videos as a fuck niece fucking content angle, which is a completely new thing, by the way, which I did not foresee. I did not foresee that was like a viable marketing strategy of just run somebody's work. I do a paid session with a client and then somebody runs behind it and does the contrarian Olympics, where anything I say, they go, oh, he's wrong because of XYZ. Right?
But why is it just wrong because they're saying it's wrong? What if they can demonstrate it?
Why wouldn't they just see, that's my point. Why wouldn't they just make their own coaching videos? Why wouldn't they just get their own clients make their own coaching? Why wouldn't they just make their own coaching video? But they're not interested in coaching? So then why the fuck are they watching this video and spending all their time?
I don't have to be interested in personal training to point out if a personal trainer
but it just so happened that every person that made that video made their own coaching shit. And they tried to run their own coaching hustles and do their own coaching prices and shit. Why is that? Why did they use me?
You just said me and Cadrel. Me and Cadrel didn't.
Sorry, I'm going to butt in really quickly here because I understand where Nice is coming from. Nice is basically saying a lot of people were using, criticizing his thing to make themselves, to prop themselves up.
And it worked.
I think it was a mix. If I'm being honest, I think it was a mix of, I do see that angle where they're trying to deter your coaching. But I also think that it was just simply, it was a trendy thing at the time, because if those things aren't getting views, people are not going to upload that stuff. So I think it's just a very trendy thing at the time. And on top of that, I think there's so many people in the space of that would want coaching that I don't think they're dipping into the same customer pool. I think people are going to go with who they respect, who they want to hear from. So I don't think it's as harmful as you think it is from that aspect. I think it was more so a trendy thing at the time to hop on and get views that way. I think that was more of it. But I do see where you're coming from your perspective.
I mean, I definitely think it was harmful. I think it was harmful to the scene at large, because at this point, if at any point a content creator becomes like in the crosshairs and it's very clear that like you are going to wake up to a sea of shit, and this is why the burner account thing comes up. Because you're going to wake up to a sea of shit that you're not ready to actually defend, and you don't have the time to defend. And these things actually take up more space than your own content. It becomes less about the coaching videos that you make and more about the coaching videos that someone is commentating over, shitting on the coach. And thankfully, I think, to my knowledge, I'm one of the only coaches that have ever had to deal with it. And it was pretty demoralizing. And honestly, I'm kind of lucky that I just kind of landed a job around the same time that I was getting destroyed.
So why did so many different pro players and content creators and whatever all share a similar opinion?
Because my price point hit a point that was ridiculous. And by the way, I concede it's ridiculous.
A lot of them were pointing out, and you never responded anywhere about the lying of ranks or the forging of ranks.
Absolutely did. Responded everywhere. I did interviews and shit. With whatever time left I had, yes, I did.
Well, there was.
What would you like me to say? What would you like me to say now? I already did.
Like, I can pull up a screenshot of you saying that you got season 7 challenger in NA, but then I understand that you said that you got season 6 and 7 challenger in NA, and then there was a timestamped Discord message of you saying that you didn't get it and that you'll try next season.
Well, that's not true. And you can ask like Adrian Riven. You can ask like Solar Baca. You can ask like Chase Shako. You can ask guys that played with me back then. Dude, you were in this fucking scene, so you know I was good at the game. Why are you lying? Why were you like? What's the point? You're gonna sit here and say that I'm bad now? Really? I've been playing forever. I've made challenger now on this stupid shit server.
I was in games with Apto and Bang and Bengi and all these other players, but I wouldn't have lied that I was challenger.
That's amazing. That's amazing that you were, but it wasn't a lie. People have played with me in high ranks.
It would be a lie if I made challenger Korea.
Okay, that's not what I did. Made challenger in NA. Made challenger in LAN.
Made
fucking MENA server. Made challenger here and there and there. Not Korea, no.
I'm gonna pop in here because I'm gonna explain it for Aless too. Aless, because I watched the video on the drama recently. So a big thing about that, what you're discussing right now with the challenger thing, it was a very nitty gritty thing in terms of what Nice claimed that he did, and then what the actual proven accolades are, and like what Yusuke went through. Because I know you have those screenshots. It was a very thing. I look. Don't get me wrong. Nice, whatever the accomplishments are, like I'm sure you.
There's a lot of
There's been a bit of lying. There's been some that are real.
Listen, there was a lot of years before this. I am not Nick. As you can see, the guy has a fucking mountain of everything I've ever said. I was not collecting screenshots for fucking proof years and years later. I just didn't do that. I didn't care. My whole thing was to make money. Nick, you said right here, Nice only cares about money and doesn't want to do anything else. I'm saying that my goal is to make it so that I can enjoy coaching and survive, right? The way that I survive, hit challenger, start coaching people, start helping people, start boosting. Fuck, back then, that was like a normal thing.
I made the claim that these screenshots don't exist, so I found them.
I didn't claim anything with the screenshots. I don't fucking care about this. I don't even know this shit.
Okay, I just said that you did not get challenger in season 6 and 7. But there is a tweet where you said that you were, because you also think that credentials is also another way to mislead people into purchasing.
No, it's not to mislead people into purchasing. And was I even selling coaching? Like this type of shit that you're doing.
Tweet, coaches should have credentials. Many don't. Here are mine as a solo queue coach. You quite literally say that credentials should matter. You say that
again, you're ignoring the fact that multiple people played with me in Challenger for years. Why are you doing that?
Playing with you.
Do you think that when I made Challenger back then, ooh, I better fucking screen keep this so that years later when I go to get coaching from fucking silver players, I can scam them and they'll think that I'm no, this is stupid.
So then why don't I just say I was Challenger Korea when I played with challengers in games?
I don't fucking know what your life choices are.
No, because it's a lie. But what looks better on a video? What looks better on a coaching website? Challenger Korea or Master?
People say you literally said that you're the fucking coach of T1. You know what that implication is? What that means? Faker shouted you out. You asked Faker like where, like an interview or something.
Yeah, actually, yes, this has happened. The Double Lift and Joe Marsh podcast in 2022. It's also
Faker
verified there. It's also verified.
Faker was there.
Another interview.
Faker was there or not?
Marsh, CEO of T1.
Faker was there or no? This is the type of shit that we get into when we start going nitpicking every little detail.
You know that lying is against the law, right?
Bro, I don't fucking know the laws of Korea, but I know for a fact that Faker was not there.
I will say that LS cannot lie about these, like especially Faker, who is he cannot make claims that Faker has done or said things.
Because I'm not gonna show you. I will show nickich the group chat with Faker.
Okay, and what year was this?
When I joined T1.
Do you see what I'm trying to say? Is when we nitpick every little thing here.
This is the thing also.
Forever.
I understand what you're saying. And also on top of this, a thing that is very important that we have to keep in mind is also this is not, personal training where you go and get a certification. There's not really for coaching in general. There's no.
And
that's
people claim themselves as fucking rank 1 everything every day. This is not some sort of and people have watched me play for years. Again, do you really think that I'm that bad? Like this is not a matter of this is not something that we have to dig into that deep. You just say, "Oh, Mark, I think you're fucking terrible at the game." This type of stuff, though, that you're trying to do is you're trying to apply some sort of concrete foundational thing to something that back then we didn't give a fuck about. Well, you seem to give a fuck about. I didn't.
You give a fuck about it, which is why you didn't just say master.
I was never just master. This is the point. That's why I was being paid to boost people. What is that?
But you weren't challenger.
But I was challenger. That's why tons of
you were
challengers came to my defense, except for you and except for the people that don't like me in your little clique. That's why Nemesis was on fucking YouTube talking about a 30-plus-year-old man. Well, Mark isn't very good. And then I made Masters in Korea. And then he's on YouTube. Oh, I'm surprised he made Masters in Korea. These types of things. You really think 10 years prior that I could have made Challenger?
But you acknowledged that you didn't in a tweet at a later date.
I've made Challenger. Why?
Guys, can I? I'm just gonna quickly because this part of the conversation is not very important.
This is stupid.
I'm just gonna quickly break it down for like both sides of it. So basically, Nice has claims.
Year's 2026. If the year's 2026,
people aren't like you. They don't take screenshots of every little thing they do in their entire life. They just don't do it.
So,
Some people
LS,
do.
this is the thing. For Nice here, Nice has his claims of what he's done. And Nice, I'm just like from a third party, right? You have done these things or you have been very close to these things, okay? Like just completely, just because you don't have the screenshots to show for it, it's either you have done these things. It is the only thing that's verifiable is you've been very close to these things for sure. Like that goes undisputed. You've
That's
hit
fair. Fine.
hundreds
Sure.
of LP and
again,
whatever. You've been around that rank for sure. But
I
LS
coach
is
you
just
back
basically
tomorrow
very
and put it
upset.
as a bronze coach, and it doesn't matter.
LS is very upset about you not having the legitimate, like, you know what I mean? Like it's almost the equivalent of passing the test, right? That's LS's issue is you don't actually have verifiable proof that you have.
2025, Nick, the reason that I'm bringing this up or that I care so much about this is because the dates don't lie. 2017, he acknowledges that he was not challenger in an A. Later, when his coaching is blowing up in the website, etc., he claims that he was, even though there is a timestamp from earlier where he states specifically that he wasn't. Now, the reason that I bring this up is because it ultimately reveals character and integrity. And I don't know about you, but if I'm getting coaching from something or someone or, whatever, I would want to believe that I'm having a call with a pretty, someone that has integrity, someone that's not willing to lie or fabricate or these other things. And I'm not saying that no one ever lies or no one ever embellishes or like these types of things. It's just weird to deny it so viscerally because it speaks to character, speaks to personality.
I understand where you're coming from. You're basically making an
just
assessment of his
ignoring
character based off this whole thing that you're bringing up. Yes.
Well, right, but it's these actions. So I have a quote that it's part of one of my principles, that actions over a prolonged period of time is infinitely more honest than any word someone can say. So if you want to measure who someone is or what they actually want to do, you monitor their actions over a long period of time because no one can keep it up that long without slipping up. And that's why screenshots and timestamps and records and all these other things in the internet is like so funny when people don't delete things. Now, obviously, for someone like me, Nice, self-admittedly in this call, in 2014 accused me of lying about Korean Masters. But by Nice's own logic, it shouldn't matter, right? Because I was in the games or something. He had me log on an account to prove it and then tweeted that he was wrong after I did prove it. It's these odd double standards. It's the lack of consistency. It's the lack of integrity. It's the constant lying, the manipulation, the embellishment that I took gripe with.
This is very funny
Not
to say
even
manipulation.
What is
This
manipulative?
is funny
about
to tell us
anything?
to tell your audience that you're gonna pass soon, and then suddenly the next day you're like, oh my bad.
I
was
didn't
just
say
joking.
no. Within 10 minutes. Of
See, this
that
is the
tweet,
thing that
someone
you do,
asked
though.
me-
No. This is the thing that you do. Is you got a whole
Before the
clique
tweet
of
blows up-
you got a whole clique of homies gathering tweets. Got a whole fucking archive of shit for years. You got people basically collecting data so that you can hold screenshots over this conversation while you try to frame a narrative that I'm such a terrible person. Well, I'm going to go back to the fact that for the past 3 years, you haven't done anything for the low elo space. And nobody's really replaced what I've done in the low elo space.
Wait, what do you mean I haven't done anything?
There was two coaching channels running coaching videos every single day. And this is the type of stuff.
What do you mean I haven't done anything for the space?
This is the type of stuff that you try to do. You try to position yourself as Charlie Kirk, and you go 1 versus 20 Redditors to call somebody shit, while you try to lord your superiority over everybody. I don't understand why this has to be a thing. And when you are faced with the consequences of your actions, what do? You deflect. I sit here and say, you know what, man?
I did not expect Charlie.
I should not have tried to put myself up as like I could make challenger in Korea. Bit off more than I could chew. And I had a lot of pressure under me, which I admit. The difference here between you and I is that when I make mistakes, I sit here and I say, you know what? That's probably right. Probably fucked up. When you make mistakes, you collect screenshots, you admit no wrongdoing, and then you come back years later and try to weasel your conversations and your narratives to basically say that someone's irredeemable, that they're just unsalvageable. When you have a history of abusing mental illness and fucking, like if you want to take it here into character.
Abusing mental illness? What do you mean?
Use your mental illness claims to anytime that somebody challenges you on your takes. Oh my God, I'm so stressed. I'm so depressed. I'm so this. I'm so that. I'm dying. I have an illness. This, that, and the other thing. Just own your shit.
Nice, I posted. I went for 3 months of mental diagnostic testing.
I know
I know
it's such a struggle to be
yes,
you.
and I
get it.
posted
The millionaire
the result.
living in Korea. Which, by the way, I will say to you, and like I said, I started this
posted the result online.
I started this with a position of respect for what you've done. I've started by saying some very nice things about you and the things that you've done. And I'll even say one thing that I really, really do respect about you is that you managed, I don't even know how you did this to this day. You moved to Korea by yourself. You learned the fucking language. You built this awesome empire I'm going to say it's like coaching, consulting, elite gameplay insight. But for you, it's not enough. You've made a career off of saying how your whole ambition in life is to stir controversy and attack people and to grow your brand.
What?
And here you are now. Oh, yes, you have. And oh, yes, if you really want me to go back and find a tweet or two, I'll go and find it later when I'm not so busy. But it is true that you have said these things, that you've basically relished in the idea of getting a controversy to get the eyes on the conversation, which is valid. It's a strategy. And that's exactly the type of shit you did with me. And that's the type of shit that other people did with me. And that's great. And you do you, man. My point of saying this is if you want to call into people's question about character, and you should look in the mirror, because there's a lot of shit that you've done that is very fucking sus in terms of basically trying to convince your audience that there's tons of things going on behind the scenes at every street, and that you're immune to criticisms because of these emotional turmoil that you're going through as a fucking a debt-free dude living in Korea, living your dreams. I don't want to do this type of conversation with you, and I'm going to point out that again in this entire conversation, I don't think you've said a damn good thing about anything that I've done, which is so sad. Because I spent so much time building out stuff for people that suck at this fucking game. Your chat that's sitting here and giggling and teeing XDing, which by the way, I'm not actually looking at chat, I'm assuming. Because I've seen you're pointing over screenshots while I'm talking. You're trying to like drive a conversation while I'm talking, which is fine. That's the type of person you are. But I would just remind you that your chat, the majority of your chat fucking sucks and would benefit immensely from anything that I offer or any of the people like I helped out Shogo when he was trying to do his thing getting into pro scene. Or with Phylaris, the guy that made all those fucking jungle clears like a psycho. Or Five Fire, who's also really good. I think you would admit all those guys are great people that you did not have any sort of space to make anything. Which is fine. You don't have to help.
That's not true. I helped Five Fire in Korea. What are you saying?
Okay. That's fine. I'm wrong.
And Polaris does make good content. No.
Then I'm wrong. And that's great.
Okay, so I just gave you 2 for 3 there, though. I just gave you 2 for 3.
That's the first time that I've ever heard it, because as far as I'm concerned, you never once were on my videos like, man, that's a good guy that you got, Nice. Good shit. You don't. When it comes to making yourself, dude, you don't. You don't. When it comes to making yourself look like the man, that's your prerogative. That's why you sit and collect these little screens for years, lording over 5, 6, 7-year-old screenshots as if it's some sort of got you. Like, dude, I made Challenger now. I'm old as fuck. You don't think I'm qualified to coach some? Okay, yeah, I agree with you. It is Mana. What do you want me to do? I can't play on 110 ping Europe. I suck. I'm not that good, bro. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you are. I'm not. I'll admit it. I don't think I could. I would love to try, but I don't think I can. My whole point of telling you is this. My point of telling you is this, is that your whole aim, even in this conversation, is I'm trying to get to the ground floor of why on earth are you trying to hurt content creators that are trying to help low elo players and also are going to make bad takes? They're going to say shitty things. That stuff that I brought up about you saying that you might pass away or some bullshit that you did. I don't care about that, dude. I really don't, because you know why? Because people do make mistakes, and maybe genuinely, I don't believe it, but maybe genuinely you fucked up.
Someone couldn't think that tweet meant I was passing away unless they had knowledge of my lung disease.
Bro, I get it. You got lung disease, you got depression, you got this, you got that.
I have ADD.
I don't think this is stuff worthy of, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I agree, but we're talking about people's character. That's the thing.
If we're going to talk, we're going to draw to people's character. There's like real things.
If I'm trying to make people think that I'm dying, why do I reply to a tweet within minutes of sending the tweet asking for clarity on does it mean that I'm dying, and I specifically say no, I'm not terminal? Why would I do that?
I don't know, but obviously enough people.
Okay, well, it doesn't sound like I'm trying to make people think that I'm dying.
Yes, you waited too long to respond, so a whole thread popped up, which I'm sure you fucking loved. I'm sure you fucking loved the Reddit thread talking about you and your drama.
After the Reddit thread came hours after I had already replied clarifying that I wasn't terminal.
Look.
I think,
arguing
Nice, personally,
things
I
that
think there's
don't
like so
matter.
if you want to talk about someone's character, I think there's LS has so much online. I think you easily could pick out, if you really wanted to, you could pick out so many other things to like for in terms of like
But
picking
that's
a
not what I'm
character.
here to do.
I don't
I'm
think that's
trying to get
something.
to, but I'm
worth-
trying to get to the meat and the potatoes of the situation, which is I am cautioning or trying to convince. I don't think it's possible because
If you're
I've never
speaking
heard
about
Nick admit that
character-
he's wrong, so I have no fucking idea. But what I'm trying to say is that when you're
Not
talking
hearing it
about
doesn't-
you're talking about the quality
Not
of
hearing it
coaching-
doesn't mean it doesn't happen. But also, when you're talking about character and you're trying to cite these tweets as a reference to my character, but then you're
Right.
inaccurate in your shots on it, like saying that the Reddit thread that I waited for the Reddit thread. No, the timestamps don't lie. My tweet clarifying that I wasn't terminal is before the Reddit thread.
Oh, it was a front page Reddit thread before you responded.
Yes, but it was all that thread was made after.
I don't know
I
why
had
you're
already
defending this as
clarified
an
I wasn't.
ugly thing you should not have done. First of all, second of all,
What did I do? Can you explain what
Nick,
I
it's
did?
Okay, it's all right, man. I get it. You need the views. I don't know why you need them. You're living great. My whole point.
I'm asking, what did I do with that tweet? The tweet
told
does
people,
not
"Oh, you-
mention anything about terminal. It doesn't mention anything about terminal illness, and you can't have that.
And I know,
conclusion
and you knew
unless
exactly,
you know
you
about
knew
the language.
exactly that when you wrote. That's the point.
No, I
Because this is the
I
type of
didn't because I
person
was
you
drunk. I was black.
No,
I
no,
was
can I
black.
can I say LS? Sorry, take a
I
second.
really want to move to a different topic.
Yeah, I'm just gonna quickly mention because like Nice, I was with LS at that time, and I know it sounds like a little bit biased. I was with LS at that time.
It's okay
so, like,
if you're a little bit biased. Honestly, again, I have no. I can.
No,
put-
but
I can
Nickich can
post-
attest
I
to the
can
fact that
post-
I
can
was-
mo- I can post my coaching website, and I can make the price damn near whatever I want, and I will still get bookings because I genuinely want to see people improve in low elo. Like I said, not your lane, Nick. I still genuinely want low elo people to improve. And people have seen that work time and time again and saw that I really gave a shit about it. And all I'm saying to you is that I've tried time
we're
and time again to include you into that process, and you clearly don't have an interest in it. As you can see, I'm not trying to got you. You seem obsessed with trying to make Mark look bad because that's how you are. And I don't understand. We could be allies. We could be friends here. You could say, you know what, dude? I don't know your shit, but you're amazing at it. Ah, shit, Mark. I don't know your shit either, but you're amazing at it. But that's not what you do. And that's not really what you ever do. I don't know. I don't understand the point of that. When you tear people down, you hurt the scene. When you pick somebody that the Twitter sphere, they're going to laugh at this guy. When you do that, you're not helping anybody. You're hurting. And it shows in the way that the content scene right now is dying. This shit is dying. It's on its way out. The esports
So what would
viewership's
you
going down.
do if you viewed someone as an invasive species? Should you not try to either disengage?
Invasive species. What would you
Yes.
have me do in order to, in your mind, right? Because you say, oh, people are redeemable. In your mind, what would you have me do to be worthy?
Well, no.
No. Let me
As
finish. What would you have me do to be worthy of coaching, let's say, a platinum player? We'll say a plat 4 player, which is plat 4 is lower is pretty much all I've ever focused on primarily. What would make you happy? What would make you go, you know what? Whatever bullshit Mark's done, he's cool. What in your mind? Is it truly that there's no way out? If that's the case, and that's fine. I want to hear it from you. At what point does somebody in your book? At what point is somebody worthy of that? I guess is what I'm asking. 'Cause I really want to know.
When
I
they
want to
can
know.
demonstrate, when they can demonstrate a really good methodology of arriving at conclusions and helping people also learn or be able to help themselves arrive at conclusions and then get helped, which is why, even though you said that I haven't, I have put up other coaches way before they were famous.
Okay. Listen. So what you said just now had nothing to do with ranks.
Yes.
So
It doesn't have to do with rank.
Okay. Cool. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
My thing is for Mark specifically, what would make you happy?
Yep.
What would make you get to a point when you see some goober who arguably I probably have outranked for years and years and years. When you see some goober in a 1v20 Charlie Kirk video start bashing on Nice, Nice doesn't know anything. What would make you as LS go, you know what, dude, I don't think what you're saying to him is very fair. I think he's probably pretty good at the game. What would it take? Or not even pretty good at the game. Fuck that. What would it take for you to be like, he's actually probably a decent coach? What do I have to change? Did you watch my videos? Just curious.
I did. In fact, I have a tweet saying that I watched videos. I also have links to me watching your videos.
Okay, so then you probably have an answer to what I just asked.
I would answer it like this: if nickich started coaching someone that's low MMR, even though he's my friend, I would likely end up saying that nickich is not a good coach.
Okay, so again, what actionably? Give me an action because I love
what did he say fuck me
you
for?
have a lot of word salad. I want actions. What does Nice need to do as a coach? What do I need to get better at? Give me some fucking coaching advice.
Actually,
what do you need me? What do you need me to fill?
Substance material that you're trying to teach people about.
Okay, what substance material do I lack? Okay, let's concede.
I don't know.
Let's say that I've never ever in my life, even on Mina, let's say that I've never made Challenger. Let's say I've never made Grandmaster, right? Let's say that I've only reached Master.
Oh, it's nickich role, right? But it's not about rank.
Master. Hold on, I know it's not about rank. So how can you say that I cannot articulate the concepts? And there's thousands of videos. The only coach that's ever brought a stupid... You know what I bought, dude? I bought the stupid fucking Trustpilot review thing so that all my clients can review. Do you know why I felt the need to buy that thing? Do you know how overpriced this stupid thing is? The reason that I bought the Trustpilot thing is so that my clients that paid could have a verifiable review because I was getting review bombed by people that were just mad that the prices were high, right? So I'm asking you. I am referring to you as a coach, the fucking greatest, biggest, dickest coach in the land. I want to know what it takes for you to be satisfied with me as a coach. I want actionable stuff. You say I don't know things.
I'm just gonna pop in here. For me,
I
think this is a difficult one because I think this is something very much like you watch somebody coach and you see how they go about it. And LS has done coaching. He's seen other coaches, and he could be able to compare in real time the concepts that you're talking about, how you're using them, how you're explaining it. I think this is very much like an assessment of the actual service. I don't think it is
because he spent a lot. No, I don't think this is difficult because he spent a lot of time collecting a lot of evidence against me as a person. I think that he would likely have some pretty
LS, if you have
your issues
feedback
with me, yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying if you've done this,
well,
you probably have some decent feedback as to why I'm shitty, like in your mind. So like I'm shitty. Okay, fine. And
well, it would be no different than me saying that nickich is shitty at EDU content. I mean, it's just not. You know,
so it's irredeemable. So you look through the videos.
It's not irredeemable. You could probably go about trying to learn how to do it or better. I mean, that's not what I'm saying. And it's also evident by
this is so actionable.
Well, it's not like I hold this opinion about everyone because evidently I have promoted people that had no affiliation towards me, like Alois, like Snow, like Sawyer. Once upon a time,
it's people that you like that are in your friend group.
Well,
because in your mind,
Alois
because you would dismiss somebody. No, because you would dismiss somebody's work as long as they're in your friend group. Then it's all good.
But Alois wasn't in my friend group. I didn't know Vigar V2, so why did I endorse them?
I don't know. Why did I endorse people that were randoms too? I don't know. But what I'm saying is I didn't go around trying to tell. No, but the difference between you and I, buddy, is that I don't go around telling people that they are unqualified to coach. That's the difference between you and I. I look at their stuff. I say, oh, I don't like him. I say, oh, I don't like him. And then I drive on.
If someone asked you, what would you say?
Someone asked, what would I say?
Simply hate you as a person.
If someone asked you what you thought about a coach that you didn't like or you didn't think that fondly of their content, what would you say?
If I felt that it was like blatantly wrong, if somebody's made reasonable ranks in multiple roles, it's pretty hard to argue with the results. No,
right.
Like
no,
unless they're like stumbling and bumbling over themselves, but I obviously know how to articulate things, or I would have never gotten any following at all. Do you think that people purely watch that many hours of coaching because like you say, because niece is Challenger? Like there were so many other Challenger people making content. Like what's the difference here? Am I just more handsome? Am I just better?
Well, we know this in the gym. People can have really good bodies or physiques, but it doesn't actually mean they understand what is going on, right? We know.
But I never got. But Nick, you and I both know I didn't get shit for high elo clients. What makes you think I'm not qualified to coach like a low elo people? I didn't get any high elo people.
Because honestly, most of the time, are fundamental, regardless of rank.
Right. So why would you shit on my coaching? Why would you say that niece is?
Because if you're telling someone how to do a squat, but it's wrong.
Can you give me an actionable other than a fucking drama screenshot? Can you give me an actionable?
Pull up a VOD. You want me to? Do you want to pick a VOD from your YouTube?
Well, I kind of do, but I also kind of pushing this conversation pretty late. I think that
can just open a VOD because that's what I believe it is. I believe fundamentals are fundamentals, irrelevant of rank.
I will tell you.
So,
I will tell you. I will
whatever-
tell you this because I really, I do honestly. This isn't a fucking. This isn't me trying to. I do have to go, and we've dragged this on a little long. For me personally, I would love to do that, and I would love to discuss with you why you think the things are wrong or right, and then maybe because again, I am trying very, very hard, even though again I don't really benefit much from this. I am trying really, really hard to get to a point where people like you look at my stuff and say, you know what, this guy, you know, I don't agree with it, or maybe he's not as good as other coach, but he's pretty good at coaching. So I really want to see, as I've done, by the way, and I am pretty sure, well, actually, I'm not sure if, I don't want to say that because I'm not sure if I've offered this to you. I did the niece gets coach thing in the past. Saw the link, right? The picture. I have no problem deferring to better people. That's what I don't get with you in particular. I've had tons of people show me champions that are way better than both of us at those champions and roles. Yet you still seem to look at my stuff and say, oh, this guy's not that good. Like, it's a very weird line, right? Because as far as people that have invested into picking up the knowledge, I think I'm unmatched, at least in terms of document and posted it, right? Like with the coach, like the niece gets coach stuff.
Unmatched in what?
With like the niece gets coach stuff. Like if someone teach me on a champion, I spent the time to make a guide with them and have them teach me and have them do a gameplay with me and explain their thought process and everything. It's not like I'm just sitting here winging it. That's why I'm trying to get action out of you. Because in my opinion, you can be offended or mad or whatever. One thing that I dislike about you and one thing that I can't stand about you is that despite the proven fact that you do know how to fucking game, I've hung out with you. I remember the first time when I saw you play, I was like, oh, this guy played StarCraft. He knows how to handle this fucking game. That's not normal, by the way. Most players that I coach never can do the type of stuff that you do. I don't play the way that you do. I don't fucking F key around everywhere, but I still did pretty fucking well, right? The thing that pisses me off about you, though, is that that you don't actually provide actionable stuff, actionable feedback. That's why a lot of these like lower elo guys and why the fucking rich CEO celebrity guys seem to gravitate towards me is because of that, because I would give them the confidence or give them simple actionable things. So I would love, maybe we can work out another time. I don't want to make any promises, but I do want to do this. Maybe we can work at a time. You pull up a VOD. We could pull up anything, any VOD you want. You can just pick it at random. We could do a fucking dice roll. I want you to sit there and tell me, how can I be better as a coach? Maybe we disagree, maybe we don't get anywhere. But I want to come away from that video and I want you to really be honest and be like, oh yeah, dude, you're not good at coach because of X, Y, and Z.
So the stuff about the other like high MMR players or content like this, etc., blah blah blah. I mean, I could give my own thoughts or opinions on why those exist, obviously. So there is that. But again, the existence of these things doesn't inherently mean anything.
It means that I put in the effort to get better at it, right? Like, and more effort than anybody else that's criticized me, at least for spending time on low elo people. I don't think there's anybody that's put in more effort in terms of teaching fucking newbies how to slow push than me. I think you would have to agree, right? That would be something that would be ridiculous to say otherwise.
Well, I don't know because it depends how we frame it. But also there could just be
we can go by the amount of videos. Let's go by the amount of Do you think I'm curious. Do you think that I enjoyed teaching a Garen player how to do an auto Q combo over and over and over again?
I'm not sure, but I think that you enjoyed the pursuit of building your brand and the money that came with it. I think that was more of the prerogative than the actual concern for the clients.
The clients also, again, the Trustpilot thing. I'm the only coach that had one. So are the clients just fucking? Are they just like stupid? Is that what you think? You think that people that have, like again, you think people that had the amount of money to afford the coaching on average to make that informed decision? Do you think that they're just like stupid? You think that when I was doing like $5 coachings, just like you, by the way, because you did the same shit. I'm pretty sure you started low, right? Do you think that when I built up the coaching, yeah, it sucked, right? You started and you grinded, you worked really hard, and you kept coaching people. It sucked so much for you that you just got tired of doing that. You're like, you know what? Fuck this. I don't want to do this anymore.
No,
right? Even if I'm getting paid, even if I'm getting paid a lot, it's not worth it to me. I don't want to do this, and I don't feel that players are getting much out of it. Correct?
Well, yes, but not that it isn't explicitly worth it. I mean, I spend a lot of time trying to educate people on the game, which is why Riot added me to it as an award.
Right, you keep mentioning that. What's with the ego of this fucking item? Why do you think that Riot
Well,
is
because
like
you
the
said that I
barometer
haven't
of
done anything for LOL esports or the scene. Then you said that I was lazy, even though I was one of the
no,
most
no, 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 no,
streamed
no, no.
streamers.
No,
So
I've sat here and Nick, can you,
you called me lazy in one of the deleted tweets that you did.
bro? I've literally sat here on this call and said that I respect your knowledge of the high elo fucking scene and the pro scene. I respect your knowledge, but what I don't respect
So
is this appeal to authority, as if Riot Games knows anything about fucking uh, about fucking coaching quality or esports or anything. What they see in you is they see somebody with a big social media following.
mayhaps, or
There's,
yeah,
there's
that
plenty
could possibly be
and
it,
guess
right?
what?
But
People at Riot don't like me either. But what I'm telling you is that there's plenty of people in Riot that don't respect you. Just like there's plenty of people at Riot that do
probably
respect
true,
you.
yes.
We are talking about
Yep.
your focus on low elo content, your focus on high elo content. For me, it seems,
Why are
correct
you?
me if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, it seems that you are quite bored of low elo stuff. Is that unfair?
I view it as somewhat similar stuff. But
Why the word
that's why
salad?
I also
Are you
recommend
bored?
coaches
Are
that are
you
more affordable.
Wait. Let us cook here. Let's just hear let's hear him out here for a sec.
Oh, okay.
I mean, well, that's why I recommend other types of coaches, or that I have tried to put other coaches on, especially at a more affordable rate. But also, I was the patch rundown guy, right? I didn't miss a beat for 11 years. I did all the patch rundowns.
It's great.
But also,
That's
I was one of the
awesome.
first coaches in the scene. So yes, so these
great
things
that you ran the
all
patches down.
existed. But saying that I don't care about low elo, yes, I mostly cater towards, and mostly when I'm speaking, it's about pro scene or high MMR, etc. But because it's all based in fundamentals, it ultimately applies to every rank.
Okay,
Someone
so
that doesn't know the game could just watch things that I say, and they could take stuff from it.
when's the last time you coached somebody that was low rank? Just curious. This isn't even a gotcha. I don't know.
Probably 2 years ago, my editor that was silver in Korea.
Basically, what I'm trying to get to, and I think we're going in circles here, is that for me personally, I'm sad that your default position is whenever my name comes up to insinuate that I'm bad at coaching, right? And you say, "Okay, Mark, you are bad," and I say again, because I'm trying to give you an olive branch here. Let's pull up a VOD sometime, and then maybe we'll go through the coaching individually, and you can tell me what exactly do you think does not help that client, and then I will do the same for you. We'll pull up a coaching video for a client that's like low elo. You said you coached a guy 2 years ago, and we will discuss what I think you could do better.
But you're free to do that.
Hmm?
You've been free to do that this whole time. I mean, that's why I publicize all of my work, is because I want to be wrong when I post something to Twitter, because that's the only way that the scene improves, is because if I have reached a conclusion that A equals B or A plus B equals C, and I excitedly want to get it out there.
Your angle from the outset, again, you haven't, I don't think you've said a damn good thing about any of the work that I've done since I've been sitting here. I know that I'm worthy of something. That's your nature, is that you really want to hurt me, which is really strange, because I've never really wanted to harm you or your reputation, and only after
If you didn't want to harm me or my reputation, then what are the Watley screenshots?
Bro,
You're saying that Watley's lying?
screenshots are in private. You should feel disgusted that you.
But you're saying that you didn't want to hurt me.
This is a perfect example of you as a person. You should feel disgusted that you even showing screenshots from years and years and years ago. Here I am bridging the gap to speak to you. As I always try to, because you constantly do little sneak disses and little aggro moves to provoke people, and then when they come back, you go, "Ha, bitch, gotcha." That's not interested in developing the coaching scene. You would see that I have a ton of influence over a lot of low elo players, and you'd say, like, "Man, I want to make this guy better at his job." That's not what you do. You try to hurt. As you can see, and as even your viewers can see, that I have sat here and given you tons of opportunities, tons of moments of praise. And look, dude, I tried to help you here. I tried to help you here. And you're like, "Well, I don't have to do any of that." Like, I don't get it. But you know what? It's fine. If you would like to do a video, I'm all ears. I don't know when.
Niece, why did I? So these screenshots and everything, they're from years ago. Why did I never reveal them prior to this conversation?
I don't know. Why did you reveal them now? It's years ago between
Well,
me and.
because you asked,
context out the
asked
fuck.
for an audience. You kept throwing shit at my window. You kept tagging me. You kept quote retweeting me.
You
kept
kept
talking.
what do you wait?
around-
Whoa! Back up, Mr. 1v20 Niece's bad coach. What are you talking?
I didn't bring you up. The guy did, and then I responded.
And you shit on me for what?
Because I was asked my opinion.
That's what you always do. Because that's what you always do.
It's not what I always do.
I think the thing here is
example
Niece has a
of
gripe with you
true.
speaking negatively, and LS has no problem speaking negatively about anyone. If there's something that comes up, he will just say his opinion, and that's all it is. That's the what I'm getting from as a third party here.
Right, but Niece, you're just upset that I've happened that, or it's so happened that you fall into the bucket of people that I do speak negatively about, but then you're claiming
Primarily
that I always
only.
do it.
Why?
No, it's not primarily only. I mean,
It is.
nickich could
When's the best
attest to that. What
Okay, what's the problem? Give me a compliment, buddy. Let's hear it.
compliment would you like me to give you?
Okay, see exactly. All right.
LS,
Anyways,
just think of something. Just think of something.
No, I don't know. I don't
This
know
is
in what
exactly
regard.
this is exactly the
This
person.
is a content
you
creator,
are.
a streamer, anything
That's
positive.
that's exactly the person he is, and that's my point. Is that he can't find good in people that he doesn't like. He can't. He can only tear down. I have sat here
That's not true.
and I've tried to be cool. I've tried to basically bridge a gap, a gap that I think, if bridged, is beneficial to everyone, because I do truly want to understand you. And I'm going to end on a fucking compliment. I'm going to say I am impressed with the amount of stuff that you kept. I think that's cool. And if you truly were the only person doing that and you didn't have a team of people on Discord, props to you, man. I think that's cool. Ultimately,
But nothing here was deleted. I wish I didn't have more because you deleted tweets. But a lot of these things are just Discord.
okay, that's great.
They're from
So
like
very-
videos.
Yeah, no, this is cool. Again, my friend, I am really, truly not your enemy. I don't want to be. And honestly,
If you're not my enemy, why are you contacting people in private looking for opportunities to turn me down? Why are you telling them to tweet about me?
because you constantly attacked me, dude. Why are you pretending you didn't do that?
So
Why
then
are you
why
pretending
can't
that you
I
didn't? Why are you
do
pretending that you
Why,
didn't
why
sit?
can you punch me, but I can't punch you?
Because you
You think I don't know
opened
about
it.
these things?
Because you opened
But niece,
it,
I
bro.
know about all these things, and I didn't publicly reveal them because I'm not you. It took until
No,
this
because
call of you endlessly
because you
tweeting
leverage
shit
your
at my
social
window.
media presence to shit on my coaching prices. Then you brought Max out here, and he cost
I didn't.
more
I
than me.
defended your coaching prices. I
Oh, you did.
commented on the quality of your coaching.
Yes, you said the quality of the coaching's bad. The nebulous quality that no
prices are
one can
free.
define either way, right?
Supply and
Can't
demand.
define it. There's no fucking book on that. You want to go to quality?
And why did you say definitively that Xpedo and other coaches are better than you if you can't define it?
Because in my opinion, they are better.
Okay,
In
so what's my opinion?
In your opinion, the difference is when you have a bad opinion about somebody and you have the influence over people. If you have a bad opinion over somebody and shit on them, you hurt the coaching scene. You don't allow it to grow. Do you know what this type of rhetoric created? That's what this all goes back to.
Can I quickly butt on this, because I think that's interesting. I think something with the coaching that I think, Niece, you're very adamant on the negativity of the negative words that LS says about the coaching, but I would
It's
also
not just
be,
LS. He's
Yeah.
just in the conversation right now.
I understand, but don't you also
it's not
think
just
that
him.
if nobody is saying anything negative about a coaching, doesn't that allow the opportunity for that person to get better at the coaching as well if they never hear anything bad? Because the low elo player getting coached doesn't know if this is bad coaching. So it would take someone like LS in this position to be able to bring up that their coaching is not optimal. It allows them to refine it, maybe look into it, these kinds of things.
Yeah, and
because
I-
also
and-
on top
and-
of that, you guys are going back and forth about, oh, you did this first, and I acted
Yeah,
this way.
I know.
It's very
It's a lot of it is a lot. And honestly, I do admit I probably should have done some more due diligence on pulling more screenshot stuff, but I am not actively streaming right now.
Totally
And
understand.
so I don't have time to sit and sift. But the whole thing here is that it boils down to
But Niece,
And
you
you-
even
yeah,
made
yeah, go ahead.
videos before you quit, right? Saying that I was getting you said, hold on, I think it's like niece LS. You made multiple clickbait videos. You said LS caught in 4K.
yeah, I did absolutely I did. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I don't. I'm not
how
shying
many
away
caught
from
in
that. And
4K?
also,
Did I-
dude, let me be clear. Let me
Okay.
be clear. I'm not shying away from it. I
Yep.
own it. Let me be clear. Some of this stuff is done out of my hands. Okay, and I gave my editors green light. I said, "Hey, this guy's been an asshole to us. It is what it is. post the video. I did the same
Okay.
thing with Cadro. I did the same
Okay.
thing with I Will
So what-
Dominate. I did the same thing with
Alright.
Tarzan. I'm going to keep going on this list so you understand how many people were attacking me. And if my rage was misguided at any point, I will 100% admit, okay, it's fine. But I think you know as well as I do that your intention for bringing up my stuff and being like, this guy's better, this guy's better, it's not something that you were doing out of the goodness of the scene. Like, you wanted to hurt. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And maybe we're at an impasse. Maybe we're at an impasse, and you see me that way, and that's it. Okay, it's cool.
The
I guess
difference
I
is
don't
when
see
I'm
you
bringing
that
up these
way.
screenshots or these timestamps, etc. You made a video saying that you exposed me by claiming that I'm duoing, right? But how
Sure,
is it an
right?
expose when I'm streaming all the games?
We're duoing though, right?
I was duoing, but I'm streaming. So
Yeah,
how am
and
I
I was
denying?
and I was
I'm
shitting
being
on you because
exposed.
everybody was shitting on me. What do you want? Why are you bringing this up like it's a big deal?
Well,
Everybody was
I'm
shitting on
asking
me. Yeah, I was shitting
what-
on you too.
Expose would mean that something was hidden. That's the way the word works.
Again, you think that I'm individually
But I was
editing
streaming.
video?
Wait, Alice, I'm just
Watching
gonna
all day?
quickly pop in on this, guys, because it's very similar.
just said that you
So what
greenlight
Nice is doing
videos.
here, let me break. So what Nice is doing here is
Yeah.
he's doing this. Nice, what you did here is the same kind of stuff that other people were doing. So you are shitting on LS in a clickbaity way for content. This is a content thing. That's why the title's like that. That's why it is.
Right. It was
And
the
then
door
same
was
way,
open.
The same thing.
The door was
would-
opened. Yes.
People would open your videos and then also do the same thing, and they'd be like, "Oh, Nice's coaching is terrible. Look at him. Look at this, guys. Look at this."
Right,
It's exact
right,
same thing.
right.
You just fought the exact same way back that other people were fighting.
I
at
was
you.
trying to and failing, by the way. This was not working, just to be clear, because there was a lot of different angles of attack. And there's no retroactive, like, I don't get points back for this. Like, my reputation's like fucked because of all these like random fucking attacks. Now, whether or not my coaching is valid is kind of like to question, right? Because I've got a bunch of esports fans, which are very rabid, right? Esports fans, which are mostly outrank, all shitting on me all at the same time because LS, Adriel, Nemesis, I Will Dominate, so-and-so, this guy, that guy, all collectively decided, you know what, Nice is the target. They've done this before with other content creators. Unfortunately, I'm not as likable as a content creator, right? I'm not like Tyler One. I can't just like sit there, take my shirt off, be kind of fun looking when he's raging, right? It's just not me. It was a collective attack on my coaching. Some may be founded, but mostly it seemed to me like people were trying to get business. LS did not need business. I agree. Adriel probably did not need business back then. I agree. But imagine somebody spends all their time building up a following, getting a huge amount of coaching videos, boot camps, things like this. Again, platforming coaches. And then their first introduction to the high elo community is LS dogging on my coaching after I personally reached out and said, hey, let's try to do something together. I don't actually know, Nick, to be honest. I would love to have you on as the last guest. I'm on my biggest growth spurt since I started streaming. We could just shoot the shit and catch up. I think I have good tales to tell. Hey, do you want to talk in my boot camp? I didn't even need you to do a boot camp. I just need you to talk for 30 minutes. I'm pulling up screenshots now since you're so obsessed. I'm not gonna post the DMs because honestly,
I didn't reply to any of them.
It's one-sided. You didn't say shit. And it was like 2020.
Right.
This is what I mean, though, is that I feel like I have tried to bridge the gap a lot here, and in doing so, I feel like what your MO has been is to collect these little ammunitions, and instead of be like, okay, let's work together and grow things, you're waiting on your opportunities to destroy things. Is that fair?
Well, I was just not disengaging with you.
Also,
Why?
it'd be fair to say that you were choosing more to not interact. Like, you were, Nice is talking about, making amends and sorting things out, and you just weren't interested in anything, basically. You just didn't want to, it wasn't something you wanted to interact with or deal with at all. Is that?
Well, I mean, why would I want to interact when I know everything that's going on behind the scenes?
This was in 2020.
That's my point. Sure, these are in 2020, but as I mentioned to Watley in the screenshot that I showed on stream, that I was very off-put by our encounter in Korea.
You didn't seem off-put.
I was
This
masking.
is the type. Well, wow, that's a very cool character trait there. The pretend that you like
Yeah, it
somebody
happens to
and
be a
then shit
trait
on
of people with autism.
them. God
No,
damn it!
I'm
All right,
chill.
I'm a go.
I was
Yo,
cordial with you.
No, this was all good. Listen, if I'll let you simmer on this.
Sweet.
Let you simmer on this, and if it's something that you want to do, let me know. I have tried. I will chill out on heckling you. Again, even though you've sat here and tried to fucking use a lot of ancient text to
What-
say
it-
that I'm a bad person. Fine. It's fine.
Even
It's
though
fine.
prior
It's
to me helping
fine.
you in Korea, you had attacked me.
It's fine.
and called me-
Yeah, it's fine. And
I know,
I've never done
I just have a
anything nice
question.
for you. No, and I've never done anything nice for you, buddy. Yeah. Okay.
So what?
It's been nice.
what
No,
would
you're
you
good, dude.
rather have
No,
had
no,
me
no,
do
no, no, no.
in
I really, it's
Korea?
been going on too long. It's been going on too long. The appeal to autism
What?
is
Just
really a good.
can you tell
is
me
a good
what
gate closer.
the? No, it's not an appeal to.
No,
It's
no,
a,
no.
it's a
it
fact.
is.
What would you
It
rather me
is.
have
It
done?
is. It is. This is what you do. You're doing it to me now. Listen, it's been a
What
pleasure.
should I have done in Korea then if I was uncomfortable?
genuinely-
enough?
It's genuinely been a pleasure talking to you. And honestly, Itch, thank you for moderating the best of your ability. I know this is kind of convoluted. You felt unbiased to me, I think.
Thank you.
I do appreciate your time. I'll just end with this. Again, just like I started, I respect your fans. I respect your audience. I don't have to say anything. I didn't have to come here. I don't have to get shit on. I don't have to get blasted. At the end of the day, I see a lot of things getting thrown out from you in particular. When my name gets mentioned or when coaching gets mentioned, I get shit on quite a bit still. I'd like to think that I provided people with a lot of help. I think a lot of people would agree, considering I get asked for help a lot. I truly wish that you would consider the impact that that your opinions have over people trying to make it in a scene. A scene, by the way, I might add, is very, very shitty. Like it's on a decline, a big one. I think there's a lot of data to support that. But it appears to me
So you
that
respect my fans. Why did?
it appears
why
to
do you
me
think they're dumber
it appears.
humans?
Huh? Oh, say what you said, really.
No, I'm asking. So you're saying that you respect the fans and stuff, but you've actually criticized them and.
Oh
other
no!
stuff.
I've also complimented them, just like I've complimented you. I said these guys, when they buy into something, they are the most rabid fans of all. I actually think it's a very interesting phenomenon, despite having probably the biggest marketing aggro that I've ever seen in my life on Twitter and on TikTok and all this. I could never really score any coaching or any props on these platforms, in part because of guys like you, but also I was still getting bookings, which was strange because, it seemed like even though I was getting beaten up a lot, I did drop, I guess, a little bit in bookings, but I was still getting a lot of them from YouTube. So I'm saying to your fans, I do respect them. I respect that I respect that they're passionate. I really do. I think that once you've established an esports following, holy fuck, you can really fuck someone's day up on Twitter and on social media and on Reddit. You absolutely can, and I'm sure you've experienced. Honestly, I bet Nick, you've probably experienced this more than me. Maybe not in a big burst. You've probably over your lifetime have experienced this more than me. All I'm saying to you is, man, I wish you would chill the fuck out when my name comes up, because I really don't only have negative things to say about you. And it's very, very clear that you have a massive pent up anger or distaste for me as a person based on tweets that I have failed to measure sometimes, just like you have. The difference is I don't hold them against you. I don't hold these things against you forever and ever and ever. I really do try to close some space. For example, I could have talked to Tarzan many times. I just never have, because I truly do think that guy's irredeemable. Like, I believe that. I don't think that's a good person. I think that's a terrible person. I don't view you that way. And I guess I wish you didn't view me that way. That's all I got. I really, good luck with everything. And yeah.
Thank you for your time, niece. Hopefully we could look if you still want to do the review coaching thing. Hopefully we could set that up at some point.
Yeah,
and make that
yeah,
happen,
we
'cause
can talk more.
I think that would be very good for both sides to further this conversation in a direction that actually is productive, basically for both of you.
Yeah, no, like I said, it's for me. I am genuinely interested in trying to help people that get better. Obviously, like, yes, I try to make money, but no, I don't really need the money right now. Yeah, I obviously cared enough, otherwise I wouldn't do it. And yeah, sometimes I do need to make money, but ultimately nobody wants to sit through that many coachings. That's why most people give up on the low elo stuff. Anyways, I've talked too much. Nick, if you have any last words, I'll listen and then I'll bounce.
Well, I mean, I broke my principles to have the call. I feel like I answered why I don't engage with you. I would disagree that I bring you up at any opportunity or something. I think I bring it up when something gets mentioned or I get asked, the way that I would with anything, because I'm chronically online. Yeah, I mean, despite knowing about everything that I just showed you on stream, I think I operated mostly with tact and poise publicly. given everything. So I mean, I don't know if Nickich wants
Sorry.
to.
You said chronically online. No. Go back. I'm sorry. So sorry.
No, I said despite being chronically online.
Right. I clicked
So-
on the wrong tab. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean that is. I said despite knowing about everything that was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to go over the Swatley thing because quite frankly, it seems a little goofy from what I could read. It seemed like very one-sided. It seemed like he was trying to win your favor. You know my opinions of you. You know how I feel about these like attacks, these jabs. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even have said anything else. Let's table this. Let's end here.
Sounds good.
Have to go.
Yep, no problem. Thank you
Thanks
for coming.
again,
Thank
both
you,
of
Nice.
you.
Thank you for your
Genuinely, thank you both of you guys. Thanks for taking the time. I've got to run. Also, I think I heard you were going to Vegas or something. Have fun with that. I wish I could go. Ciao. See you
Okay.
guys.
Time. See you, Nice.
Okay, bye.
And then there was. Oh,
Hello.
and then there were two.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel after that conversation? How do you feel right now after that?
I don't know. I think I talked like 25% of the time, unironically. But like,
yeah. I think he definitely dominated the conversation, but I think also he's not really getting doesn't really have a platform to like speak much. He doesn't really speak much anymore, so I kind of understand. Like at least you're still in the streaming loop, so you get to speak a lot. I think for him it was kind of like a getting back in the game kind of thing, I would say. Were you able to?
It was a weird.
Were you able to understand his perspective of things? Were you able to get any?
Yes,
takeaways?
I get it, but what I was trying to draw is the contrast to how he justifies it when he does it, but not when others do it. I was trying to ask questions on what would he have me do? What's the alternative?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And
I agree.
obviously, how do I say something nice or complimentary to someone that I believe harbors extremely ill intent towards me and all these other things? It was really strange. I mean, I like the fact that I've never like I know that you know that I can go hard at people, right? Or that, I can do whatever on social media and whatever. But I never really did. Otherwise, he would be able to cite these things, right? Like that was what he was ultimately getting at. What he's complaining about was ultimately so tame.
I agree.
But
I agree. Yes.
the other, like the Alois stuff is a direct counter argument to what he's saying. Because if I thought Nice was good, then I would have promoted him. I mean, that's the logic that follows.
Yep. I think
somehow I'm an asshole for remaining cordial in Korea.
Yeah, that part I wouldn't worry about. Yeah, that part I wouldn't worry about. He saw it as like a fake thing, like you being fake, but you were just like handling how anybody would. I don't think there's anything ridiculous about that.
Well, anyone's gonna mask if they're uncomfortable and they're just waiting for a situation to end so they can part ways. No.
Yes, of course. You're not gonna say, "Hey, man, I have a problem with you." That's not something you want to navigate. I think. I feel like Nice really messed up in terms of when he was a creator. I think the attacks that he says he was experiencing from everyone online, he really could have. Would it have a hit on his coaching? Absolutely. But I think. I don't want to say it was all fair criticism. It was obviously all done in terms of content and what was trending at the time. I think he could have taken that and continued doing what he was doing, and he would have been fine. Maybe he would have lost a little bit of money, like a couple customers don't come through. I think he took it way too personally on a level, because as a coach, you should be confident in what you're doing and be happy with what you're doing, and people will see through whatever others are saying, right? Like if you're confident as a creator, I think this is more so in creator, if you're confident in what you're doing and people make criticisms, then as long as you're confident in what you're doing, you're going to keep doing it and people will show up. It's a little bit tricky because it's coaching, so he feels a little bit more of a personal attack on that.
I mean, I can understand that. I don't think what I was trying to describe or get at was that difficult to talk about.
I agree. I think both of you
like
laid out how you saw things. I think both of you laid out things really, really well. And I understand both perspectives. I just feel like I felt a little bit on his side. He was just so close to understanding it, but he was very adamant about what his experiences were, and what he went through, and what that meant basically in terms of like creating a perception of you and everybody online and validating his own actions. I feel like he was very, very close though in terms of that little bit of a bridge, if you will. There's a slight disconnect, but
I think that there were some misses where like really a lot of what blew up in the scene was the faking embellishment of ranks and like other stuff.
Yes, I agree. Because I watched the video. So I watched, there's a video that's like an hour and a half long or something. I watched the whole thing very recently. I think,
I brought that up too because, well, not just that, but he said that he said in a tweet, where is this? Oh, okay. So this is him reacting to Hazmat's video when it came out. He says, I can't tell what's sadder, making an 1.5 hour long video about a video game coach. I assume it took a lot more hours, or the fact that there are enough people in the world who would want to watch. I couldn't make something like that about myself. Last time I saw blatant attacks that long was the rodent OC coaches. And then literally today, he says this is his first time seeing Hazmat's video in reply to him. And then he says, I'm genuinely amazed someone spent so much time out of their day to make such a hate-inspired thing. I sound like Hitler in this.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot
but
of
how does he so conveniently just forget things?
I think he doesn't.
But then also has a history of deleting tweets.
The problem here
deleting...
is he doesn't have enough accountability for his rights and wrongs and what he's done. And then on top of that, takes all the things that are said or done against them to a very personal level that makes it very, like, it spirals. It spirals so much. Like, he takes, a couple of people made TikToks about him. What did that turn into? A couple people you criticize, like for instance, you responded to someone who mentioned him on a 20v1. What did that do to him? I feel like it piled up and dealt so much more to him on a personal level than it should have. I think a lot of people would agree.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I can agree with that. But again, the point that I was trying to say is, like, when he mentioned that Cadrell watched his coaching and or whatever and flamed him, Cadrell wouldn't do that if, you know, it was an Alois video or something. And that's the other thing that I was trying to get at, is that the stuff wasn't just coming out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Hello?
Sorry, I had to pee. I was listening though. But yeah, I agree. Like, there's no instances of those guys hard criticizing any other content creators that were doing coaching. There's nothing of that happening.
Right.
He thinks it was just like a big coordinated industry attack on him almost. That's kind of the vibe I was getting.
Correct.
Which I think it was I could see how he, like, I think that's fair that he could view it that way, but I think it's also just very fair to say, like, he was a well-known creator in what he was doing. The views were there when he was mentioned, and people are going to go to what's viewing and trending and get reactions. And I think that's totally fine. That's what streaming is. That's what content creation is. I feel like that was a good talk. I think you guys were very, I think for the most part, it was pretty good in terms of you guys let each other speak. It was fun. Like, obviously he got to talk a bit more, but there wasn't much cutting off. It didn't get too heated in terms of emotions. There's a little bit of thing, like the personal stuff that he mentioned. I think he just went a little bit too far. That stuff wasn't really relevant or at all accurate. I think he would have to, those are kinds of things you need to at least have receipts for and, like, have very solid basis to, like, bring that kind of stuff.
You would have to be able to substantiate the claims, right?
Yes, exactly. And I understand he doesn't have that on deck, but, like, you shouldn't talk about it.
Well, when a lot of his tweets at me are all hate inspired, and he makes comments and they're derogatory and he curses at me and all this other stuff over the years, and I have the receipts for these things, then, like, why is he so confused when I don't have anything nice to, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just weird.
Yeah, he thinks you are being rude to him and speaking negatively about him by not knowing all the things behind the scenes. It's like, dude, I know so much about you. People have said you've said so many bad things. I know about all of it, and he is just kind of like, he doesn't know that you know that, basically. So he's very shocked.
Sure.
That is it.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else more I could, like,
I think
really say. The other thing is that, like,
critiquing the coaching thing is going to be, if he's down to do that and we can set that up, I think that's a very valid thing, because I think you have no problem being, you know, transparent about what you see and how you view coaching. I think you're very, very transparent about these things. So I think that's a great conversation, and it's going to be very opinion based. There's no right or wrong. Coaching does not have a test that you passed. There's none of this. So it's very much about, obviously your credentials matter in terms of, like, oh, I hit challenger, this and that. Obviously that matters, but it's also, in part, it's a lot of personal takes on what you think is a good coach and not a good coach.
Sure. Ultimately, I guess what and one thing that I would say as a response to that, though, is that inside of coaching, if people say things that you can demonstrate are wrong, then that is legitimate. The approach or the methodology and stuff, sure, that can be different. You know, the way that people might converse inside of coaching, or the methods that they might deploy in terms of, like, what they suggest to the students and stuff. But I think the accuracy of the statements or the recommendations, etc., I think that can be measured to an extent, right? Which is why even he himself said that he could measure it for other people, etc.
I mean, at the end of the day, right? Also on top of that too, I think one thing that's a little bit kind of is almost like a counterintuitive is like you guys were able to vet out coaches and decide who's a good coach. So what determines if they're a good coach or not a good coach, right? The same way that you could say niece isn't a good coach and criticize that. What's saying that some random guy that you could hire isn't a good coach, right? Same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like there's like coaches.
I mean, I think that like several of the coaches that I ended up trying to help promote and whatever, I mean, some of them still exist, right? And they're still within the scene, and they're recognized as being extremely knowledgeable. And this is all years before they're even famous.
Well, I thought it was a very productive talk. I think you guys made a lot of progress in hearing each other out, and like I'm sure you got to really understand. I think it was a lot of understanding where he's coming from, and then you being able to mention why you view his character a certain way. And I think that is good progress in terms of just understanding things in general. I think that was good. Is there anything else you wanna talk about?
I don't know. I mean, no. I mean, not unless like you have something immediately, that comes to mind.
Well, I mean, a couple things. Okay, one thing I would say is I got a couple different Malphite setups I'd like you to look at. That's number one. Number two, there was a discussion about the NASA support pick and your thoughts on that. I'm gladly we dodged that one. But do you still stand on business that NASA support is a great pick, or how do you still stand on that?
At that time, it was definitely good. Yes, I think that also with how much League has progressed since then, with like obscure things like Anivia support, right, and other weird things, Anivia top lane, Annie top lane, like, right, and then the other thing about that's so weird is that it wasn't only me demonstrating it; it was other supports like Lucio and Trimby who were also championing the statement of it. But then people refer to Trimby's one game at Worlds where he picked an abysmal spot and to perform poorly on it. But that doesn't have anything to do with
if you can hear
the
us,
legitimacy
please,
of the pick
Donald
or
Trump.
the accuracy of the
Please
statement.
save me. Please save me, Donald Trump.
I agree. No, I agree. That's good. That's very true. And it's the proof's in the pudding, right?
I mean, I mean, Inspired played Tryndamere, right? And you saw how that ended up transpiring.
Well, of course I
right?
saw it, bro.
It wasn't Inspired. Okay, so if it wasn't Inspired and the person lost with it, it would be memed. Because that's the way that the public tends to operate. It's not about a demonstration or discernibility. So that's why the Gnosis thing that he brought up is so weird to me. Because it shouldn't matter whether Trimby lost or not. It should matter that he picked it in a bad spot. And it should matter about what can be demonstrated and who is willing to or championing the idea that it can be demonstrated.
I agree.
No? Okay.
No, I agree. Okay.
I
was more so trying to just, have a little fun, but I agree. You make a good point about it. It's very true.
I'll go.
We'll chop it up later, bro. We'll chop it up later. I'll have more words with you later, so don't worry. Okay. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for talking, bro. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for letting me mediate this. It's been a pleasure.
Okay. All right. Later, Nick.
Bye. Have a good night, man. Have a good night. See you later.
Bye.
That's my goat, bro. That's my goat Aless, guys. That's my boy Aless, bro. Unforgiven. Thank you for the sub, guys. W to niece even, bro. W to niece even. It was awesome to be able to hear them. I think everybody's fair to have an opinion, view things differently. I think it is very awesome that they would even entertain, both of them would entertain having this conversation. Because let's be quite honest with where both of them are in life. Neither of them need to have this conversation. I don't need to be here. I'm actually just at the end of the day, even though I'm a streamer and I'm, milking the ad button and I'm hitting the fucking sound effects when I can and doing what I can. I'm here as a fan, as someone who is invested in both of them as content creators and what their past has looked like. I'm going to quickly reference you guys if you're interested on this topic further and there's more that you want to know. Niece, Hazmat. There's this video. I spell Hazmat wrong. There's this video, The Dishonest Downfall of Niece from 2 years ago. A lot of the topics that were discussed today are covered in this video. So I would recommend going and watching this. It gives you a little bit more backstory, a little bit more understanding to the climate at the time revolving Niece and all these kinds of topics. Just a few years old now. A very interesting topic. You'll be able to understand it, and I would definitely recommend that to you guys. I watched it recently on stream. I think there's a video of me, Niece. I think there's a reaction of me watching it at the time. Revisits the 2022 Niece coaching drama. Okay, this is a lie. I did not watch 100 hours. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I didn't watch 100 hours. That's a fake video. I'll talk to my editor. But point being, there's this video if you want to watch it. 2 hours and 30. We take an hour and a half video and make it 2 hours and 30 minutes. There's the video for you guys. It's going to be me reacting to it on the nickich Raw channel. I think it's worth a watch if you're interested in this topic. Again, this VOD if you want to watch a VOD of this, I'm sure Vox is going to upload it. There's probably 2 hours of this previous. Anyways,